The Lions. Real-life fantasy rugby, bitter rivalries set aside in a quest to create the world's best team in weeks. There's nothing like it, but who on earth had the idea and how did it all begin? Incredibly, the first Lions tour was organised and funded by three men who played in England's first ever Test cricket match: opening bowler Alfred Shaw, opening batsman Arthur Shrewsbury and captain James Lillywhite. The 1888 Lions squad, then made up of 17 English, 4 Scots and 1 Welshman and a Northern Irishman, took a 46-day boat trip to New Zealand before heading to Australia. The Lions weren't alone on the boat. Also on board were 300 stoats and weasels who were brought over to eliminate New Zealand's rabbit problem. The first ever Lions captain, Robert Seddon, died of drowning midway through the tour while sculling on a river. Andrew Stoddart, who was another of the cricketers there, took over and was the star of the tour. The next one was the first to get official recognition from the RFU against the newly formed Springboks. Although the Lions won the series and beat the Boks again 5 years later, in the 12 series since in South Africa, they've only won 2. New Zealand has proved an even tougher hunting ground, just the 1 series win for the Lions in 11 attempts, which came in 1971. And then there was that nail-shredding drawn series in 2017, only the second in Lions history. Only once have the Lions clinched a series after losing the first test, 1989, when David Campese's infamous ghost pass was pounced upon by Ian Evans. Before World War II, the Lions had a dark blue strip, which on the 1930 tour forced the All Blacks to play in all white. So in 1950, the iconic red shirts, white shorts and blue and green socks combination was born. It remains the symbol of the greatest alliance of adversaries in all of sport. To borrow the phrase from Jim Telfer, the Lions is Everest.
Hello, you're listening to Rushden Baker on talkSPORT. Hawksbee and Jacobs for the Britpop generation. What's coming up between now and 4, Charlie?
Hello, Max, big fan. Today, Henry Winter will join us to plan the exact route for England World Cup 2026 trophy parade. And the England superfan Andy Milne has a book out and was at the game, so we'll also talk to him.
Stuart Broad says this is the worst Australia team since 2010, so we'll ask an Australian about that. The Basketball Euro Cup is on, so if you thought our boxing interviews were bad. And Ray Houghton will tell us if the Republic of Ireland have any chance of qualifying for the World Cup.
Yeah, we'll ask a Rangers fan if they want Kevin Muscat to be their manager. Matthew Priest from Dodgy is here to talk about their new song and his beloved Liverpool. And comedian Tom Nestor watched Sulford suspended 50 metres in the air from a crane. We'll ask him why on earth have he done that?
Yeah, he was in the crane. That was sort of poorly written.
Oh.
It wasn't Salford were in the crane. And
Salford
you could have
weren't in the
understood it
crane.
both ways, yeah. We'll ask you what your granddad's known for.
Well, then
and your
football in a
wheelies
crane.
Stories.
Football in a crane.
Yes.
Yeah, lovely crane football.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Charlie.
Good afternoon, Max. I thought England were excellent last night.
Yeah. Well
really,
done. You're absolutely
really,
right.
really,
That's
really
done.
good.
We've done that.
Top
It crossed
level
off
football punditry
It was.
there.
Although Danny Murphy made a good point in the sports headlines, which is, and I agree with everything that's been said, I think, by a lot of people, which is I like that it is a team. I like that if you play well, you keep the shirt. I like that Elliot Anderson is the sixth that we've needed for the last 250 years. I like the fact that Anthony Gordon is playing really well, and Kane and Saka looks excellent. And I'm pleased for Morgan Rogers, and I think it'll be fascinating what happens with Jude Bellingham. But Danny Murphy makes a good point, which is the only team we thought were going to be good in qualifying was Serbia, and they have been absolutely terrible.
Yeah, rubbish.
And so, have we played anyone good? We played Senegal and they beat us.
Yeah.
That was a while ago, and I think Thomas Tuchel, it does look like he's building something really good, and I like how he dealt with, getting some stick off the fans. It's funny. Let's crack on. So I, for one, think we've won the World Cup.
We will win the World Cup. I have to be honest with you, Max. As you know, at all times, and I love football, and I love lower league football particularly. If you'd asked me to point to Elliot Anderson, before this season, in a lineup of 10 people,
okay,
I would have been guessing.
Right.
Which one was Elliot Anderson? So that says quite a lot about my football knowledge, I think.
But here's what I think as well is, if you were to walk into the office of any day that, I forget the days you work now, is it Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday?
I'm never not at work.
Okay. Let's say Thursday, right?
Yeah.
So it's a Charlie and Paul Hawksbee day.
Oh,
you
lovely.
walk into the office, right? So your chairs, we know where they are when we walk in to the H&J chairs. They're on the right. There's 4 chairs. Paul's there, Andy's there, or I'm there. In the olden days, and you're there, I'm there, Andy's there. We know where we sit. There's a Paul chair, there's an Andy chair, right? You know the setup. You look over to the left, there's some teenagers, they're doing something. They're doing something with YouTube. They're doing something with the YouTube channel, or they're writing something for the website, or they're putting something online. I reckon if one of those had headphones on and was just looking at the computer, and it was Elliot Anderson, you would carry on your day and not know that Elliot Anderson had been at talkSPORT, even though you now know what he looks like.
Definitely.
So we don't know how many current England players are actually occasionally in the office. Maybe Esri Consa's there right now.
Up.
Who knows?
I don't know. Elliot Anderson, is he the first Elliot to play for England?
Oh,
Max, I'm trying to think of other Elliots.
Do you remember Elliot Bananas, who played for England in 1962? He didn't make the 66 World Cup squad. Do you not remember Elliot Bananas?
So sad. He was so good. I'm trying to think of other Elliot footballers.
The thing is, you'd think with a name like that, people would remember him much, more clearly. But he's a totally forgotten England player, Elliot Bananas.
Yeah. If he came into the office and sat there, I wouldn't know he was there.
The answer is I don't know, but he may be the first Elliot.
Elliot,
could be, because Matt Elliott played for Scotland. That's the best I've got.
Paul Elliott.
Yeah.
Paul Elliott. Did Paul Elliott play for England?
He might have done.
Also, it's not his first name, is it? He's not called Elliot Paul.
I didn't know you were going to give me a quiz this
I know, nor I didn't know the quiz was going to come up. We'd started talking about Elliot Anderson.
Yeah.
And then Elliot Anderson, I thought, I can't think of another Elliot footballer. A. B. Has one ever played for England before?
That's a good question.
Best sporting Elliots.
Okay, we can
Elliot
do that.
Kipchoge. It's not Elliot, is it? It's Iliad. So it doesn't count either.
It's a different name. You can't have cider wheater either.
Elliott.
That's not Elliot. You can't have Stephen Redgrave. It's not Elliot.
Not
you
Elliot.
Can't have that.
It's a different name completely.
I'm listing sports people again. I like doing that.
We like doing that. Best sporting Elliots. We'll take those, Max. No, I know we've got too much to do. It's too much to do.
We haven't got too much to do. Okay. People can get in touch on whatever reason they want. There are a couple of things that we thought might be good, and one is you saw a world record. What was the world record you saw?
World record. What did I say? The height. Pole
The
vault.
wheelies.
Oh, the wheelies on. I once saw the indoor.
You know we're doing a show.
Sorry, I just reading the text. I once saw the indoor. Well, I didn't see it. I was at the indoor arena for in Birmingham for some athletics, and the world record pole vault indoor happened, and I missed it because I was getting a burger. So that's a shame, isn't it? But I sent you a clip of the world record wheelie. Yeah, Max, and it was. I've lost the clip.
93 miles. Oscar DeLate broke the longest continuous wheelie record, riding for over 6 hours.
Yeah.
Around a track, he did a wheelie for 93 miles.
He should have had to do it down a pedestrianised high street, because that's often where people do wheelies now.
He should have done it with like 10 other sort of 14-year-old boys across Blackfriars Bridge. Yeah, in and out of traffic.
Exactly. Just
two
wheeling in and out.
Two of them on a line bike they haven't paid for, so it's beeping. That would have been the real one.
That's how you actually do it.
So what do we want? Your wheelie story.
Wheelie stories, And I was doing a wheelie. Yeah, lovely. Yeah, okay. Very nice.
So I was doing a wheelie story. And the other one that I saw was this guy, Ralphie Albert, a cricketer, plays for Surrey, whose granddad is Jimmy White. And so when he was young, and like people go up to his granddad and want photos and the like, and he'd be like, "What do you want photo of granddad for?" Yeah. That's weird, isn't it? Because he didn't know it was Jimmy White.
Jimmy White doesn't look very like other granddads, does he? He looks cool, doesn't he?
He looks neither like my Grandpa Rube or Grandpa Brian. May they both rest in peace. Neither of them had the air of
Jimmy White,
flawed genius snooker player. I'll be really honest with you. Both of them just sort of sat in chairs and were deaf. That was my experience. So I've got an old dad, and so they were old. Right?
Jimmy White regularly just sat in a chair.
That's a very good point.
Waiting for his go against Steve Davis normally.
So the question is, what is your granddad known for? So it doesn't have to be. He doesn't have to be the world snooker champion.
And do remember, it is 1:12 on
we don't
a Wednesday
want
afternoon.
Stories of your granddad, but then that's not what your granddad's known for, is it? You don't know if it's your granddad, unless you have a very open relationship with your granddad. How often does a granddad sit a grandson down and say, "Now let me tell you about my conquests"? People have different granddads.
Obviously, Grandad Rube never did. Never sat you down. Just sat in a chair.
Sat in a purple velvet chair.
You'd have loved to have known him putting it about around the place.
I don't think so.
No, we would have liked to have known it.
Around North London.
I took her in a field.
That's not how Grandpa Rube spoke.
Oh, right. I apologise.
He was not from Devon. Your granddad's from
That's
Devon.
my granddad, yeah. Of course, I apologise.
So
do all the granddads not sound like this? Hello there, all right, how's you getting on?
No, that's not all. That isn't all granddads, isn't it?
Okay. Not all granddads.
So there we go.
Hashtag not all granddads.
Sounds like something from the previous show. Anyway, yes, what's your granddad known for? 8:1089, and any wheelie anecdotes. That's what we're going for so far. 8:1089 at Max Rushden at Baker's tweet. This is Rushden and Baker on talkSPORT in partnership with Toolstation. Next stop, Toolstation. Henry Winter, Sunday edition co-host, will join us, and we'll do a proper England chat in just a second.
England's place in next summer's World Cup can be cemented here and now.
It's a very special moment. It's not daily business to qualify for World Cups.
Here's Gordon running quickly towards the edge of the penalty area. Right-footed effort is a beautiful goal.
That's my biggest goal in life, to play the World Cup for England. It's one I've dreamed of as a kid.
Yeah, overall just happy to add to the team again today, and not just the goals, but the all-round game.
Kane runs up, hits it into the bottom left-hand corner. It's 3-0 to England. Dust off your passports, pack your suitcases. England are on their way.
Never take these things for granted. Celebrate like it's your first one, and then we move forward.
It's been incredible, the press. That side of the game's been magnificent.
England are scoring goals. They're keeping clean sheets. These are very good habits to get into in a World Cup year.
We will not stand still. We will try to improve and get everything going in November.
Rashford checks his second run. It's good goal, 5-0. Brilliantly struck. Played 6, won 6, scored 19, conceded none. The future is bright.
I really like the Jim's dust off your passport. How dusty?
Yeah.
How dusty is it?
How dusty
Surely
is
he's
your
taken a
passport?
mini break to Prague recently, Jim. It only goes to it's in Latvia, for goodness. It can't be that dusty. Jonathan's been in touch to say on what's your granddad known for? My granddad wrote a book on piano tuning, which amazingly was published. It's the dullest book ever.
I like that. Very nice.
Yeah, Bowers says my granddad was known for being an Elvis impersonator in Mallorca. That's from Danny.
Fantastic.
My granddad said this was known for funding a local football team, played for by Terry Venables. Terry also babysat my mum and uncle.
Oh, that's
says
nice.
Charlie.
And
That's
here's
a good
one
text
from
topic for another
Anonymous.
day.
My granddad was known for being the electrician in charge of all the lights on London's Trafalgar Square Christmas trees.
Oh,
He did them totally
good.
correctly when he was alive. Not like they are now. They're awful. Wowee. I'm
And Luke
going to have to look at them.
this is good. Luke in Worksop said there was a power cut in the 80s that lasted days. And as soon as it happened, my granddad bought all the candles in the town and hiked up the price. He was called the Candle Snatcher. There
Wow,
he is.
there we
Anyway,
are. Very good.
Let's talk to Henry Winter about
Yes, please.
England's win in Latvia and, who's going to be on the plane. Hey, Henry, how are
Hello,
you?
Henry.
Hi, Max. Hi, Charlie. I thought there was only one Christmas tree in Trafalgar Square, which was a gift from the Norwegians
That's
every
true,
year.
isn't it? Yeah.
But it was lit up by this listener. Don't question the honesty of our listeners, Henry. How very dare
You are having a go at this guy's granddad, Henry.
Yeah.
Well, it might have been the Terry Venables Christmas tree. So we're seeing some tactical development, certainly under Mr. Tuchel.
Well done for bringing it back to sport
Thanks,
so quickly, Henry. Look, it's really positive, isn't it? Now, I have definitely been in a position before when England have qualified and I've said it's starting to click. This will be the time. And if memory serves me correctly, we don't always win the World Cup.
No, it's been a while, apparently. Yeah, but all you can do and all you can do as football fans is have a bit of hope. And I think that's what Tuchel has done. He's got a fantastic collection of players. Credit to the academies and to the EFL who've helped develop them, whether on loan or a player like John Stones, who I thought was terrific last night. Didn't really get the credit he deserved for the way he orchestrated that first goal. Obviously, the Barnsley Beckenbauer. And the FA, the way they've changed the age group system, so they play more games, more varied games. The fact that England are winning under 19s, under 21s, back to back. So it's all, the direction of travel is all good until you then have a look at the Spanish and you have a look at the French. And then you hear that, you've had bookmakers on earlier on talkSPORT and The Day, and England are sort of joint favourites or second favourites. And I'm going, well, look, we've been down this road before and run into a cul-de-sac. So I think there's reason to have belief. I mean, the gap between Harry Kane and the next one down, although I'm a fan of Ollie Watkins, is substantial, is a concern if Harry at 31, 32 gets a bit fatigued in the summer. But absolutely, there is a reason to hope.
I think I've slept on Harry Kane. I don't think I've really appreciated how great he is. 76 goals in 110 games. I know we play some absolute dross in qualifiers a lot of the time, but he's just exceptional footballer, isn't he? And I think I won't really realise till he's gone. So used to him just popping up and scoring.
Just with respect to the dross, First, the one or two other countries have struggled in qualifying, and England have in the past. And also, if you look at the other players who at various points held the England goal scoring record, Sir Bobby Charlton and Wayne Rooney, I mean, they weren't all sort of World Cup semi-finals or Euro quarterfinals.
No.
They played some lesser teams with respect, non-competitive games along the way. So I don't like all this slight shade that's being thrown by some people. I'm not saying you, Charlie, but against Harry Kane's record, because it is phenomenal, and he has dug England out in tense moments. He is hugely respected. You would put him amongst the top 3 elite centre forwards in the world at the moment, with Haaland and Mbappe, maybe one or two others. And I take your point completely, is that I'm not sure we do properly appreciate him, because he doesn't run around grabbing the limelight, the headlines. He scores, he goes home to Kate and the kids.
Yeah. He looks exhausted.
I suppose. Yeah. It's easier playing than parenting.
Yeah,
we know
that's
that.
true,
But I suppose if we were going to, and I'm playing devil's advocate here, or just repeating what Barry Glendenning would tell me, is in the big games, how many has he really turned up for? If you think about finals where he's not been fully fit, I guess, for Tottenham. But no, I agree. I think he's a wonderfully deft footballer as well, and will definitely lead the line. I think what's interesting, Henry, is that front six, you think will probably be the front six?
No, I think Bellingham has to come in. I did think Morgan Rogers was great last night. I'm a huge fan of his. I don't like the narrative around Bellingham. I think it's a bit disrespectful. I can remember when England played Italy to get into the Euros, into the last tournament, and all the headlines, or a lot of the headlines, were Bellingham's got this. One of the headlines was arrogant streak, which gives England the X factor. And I think we have a fear of confident players, whether it's a Victorian, slightly patronising element. But I do really like the fact that Bellingham's got this little bit of swagger around him. If he was American, we'd say, we need more of that. I agree with elements of Tuchel's mum, in terms of he can sort of let rip at referees a bit. But you know what? You're not going to win the World Cup with a bunch of Cub Scouts. Argentina have got a little bit of devil in them. France, when they won it as well. And I think the idea of actually going into the World Cup without Bellingham as number 10, I just think I think other countries would think we were mad. He spends his working day alongside Mbappe and Vinicius Junior, and we should respect that a little bit more. He's a kid. He's 22.
Yeah.
And he's got a phenomenal record. So look, I'm a supporter. I don't know him, and I quite like the way he sometimes comes into press conference and scowls at us. But I like that, and England are going to need a little bit of that personality in games like a Slovakia when he scored that goal.
But the bench is so strong, isn't it? Bringing Eze on last night, he looked phenomenal when he came on, I thought. Brilliant energy. And if you've got Morgan Rogers on the bench to come on, and you talk about the heat as well, Henry, I've heard you talk about it a few times, and you go, in that heat, it's going to be a 20-man game, an 18-man game.
Yeah, and I think they will expand the squads to 26. I think that makes sense. And what we know about Tuchel is, he's good with his subs. He's very good at man management and game management. I think with England have got all that. But absolutely, as you say, you think of the players who weren't involved, whether it's a Dean Henderson. Dean Henderson's not going to get a looking, and he's been fantastic for Palace in goal this season. Cole Palmer, we haven't even mentioned him as a 10. He wasn't there. Jack Grealish may not go to the World Cup. He would get in a lot of teams starting 11. So look, there's so many good players. I was at the under-21s the other night, and you look at Gittins at Chelsea as well. What a prospect he is. And we're not short of left wingers. The last Euros, we were struggling. Who was going to play on the left? Was it going to be Anthony Gordon? Now it's Gordon starting. Coming back to your point, Charlie, we know the front six. We can debate the 10. Gordon starting, but then you've got Rashford behind him. You've got Gittins. You've got Madueke. So, he's not sport for choice.
Henry, always good to chat. Thanks, pal.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks, Henry.
Henry Winter there. And look, talkSPORT Daily Podcast is looking back on that game. Adrian Durham, Stuart Pearce, Jim Proudfoot, bringing you all of the reaction live from Riga and discussing, the England fans chat with Thomas Tuchel and whether Anthony Gordon will be the first name on the team sheet. Probably be Pickford, wouldn't it? I'm sure they write it like Sunday League.
Do you think they go one Pickford, or do you think they go 9 Kane and then work backwards?
Yeah. Anyway, you can get that podcast. Or they do. When it's really annoying when the team sheet comes up and it's in number order, but it's not position.
Yes,
and then you're trying to work out who the back four is, and they're all like number 37. Like, just put it in the order that they're playing.
Yeah, Torquay played Dagenham and Redbridge Saturday, and the 5th name on the team sheet was Andy Carroll. He was not playing central midfield, Max. He was playing up front.
Anyway, wherever you get your talkSPORT,
wherever you get your
podcasts, get the talkSPORT Daily. Well, if you were watching on YouTube, you would have seen me burst out laughing during that interview because I read this message on the subject of what your grandfather did. John says, "I say as someone who didn't really know him personally and not in celebration, but just as a fact, my paternal granddad was once on the front page of the News of the World because he punched someone so hard their eye fell out."
Oh dear.
It's a bit strong.
It's quite
but
strong.
It did.
Here we are.
That's what he's known for.
That's what he's known for. Wow.
That's all right. They popped it back in. I've no idea.
No idea.
This is Ian says, growing up, my granddad was known locally and ironically as Honest John of Arnold, suburb of Nottingham, due to his love of selling less than reliable cars on a makeshift forecourt outside the front of his house. Such a legend. I miss him dearly. And Stephen says, lads, my late granddad was famous for being the most miserable penny-pinching old grump in the area. The tight old git never even left me a penny when he kicked the bucket. At least I'm not bitter, says Stephen.
So, he didn't have to. Maybe you could have visited him a bit more.
What's
then he might have lent you something
for? 8:10:89 at Baker's tweet. We'll do some basketball next. Hope you prepped for this, Charlie. They've written down, so after our boxing travails, they've written down some questions for us.
Some of the questions are like, what's your favourite colour? That sort of thing.
Some of them are really good. I really want you to ask, of the suggested questions, Charlie, will you please ask, what does he enjoy doing in his spare time? Cooking? Other hobbies? Does he collect anything? If you could lead with that.
Someone's been on the AI for questions, I'm guaranteeing it.
It's an amazing question. Unless you know he collects something, how will we ever know? Anyway, it's the Euro Cup basketball. London Lions forward Ryan Meixer will be on in just a second.
Danny Murphy has been questioning what we've really learnt about Thomas Tuchel's team in qualifying. But the former England midfielder does expect more positive performances at next summer's World Cup.
I think if you're playing Spain in 30-degree heat, you can't go after them for more than 10 or 15 minutes. You've got to be cute and clever and maybe pick people who can counter really well for you, because Spain will dominate the ball. But I don't see Tuchel being too single-minded in playing one way all the time. He's not daft.
Meanwhile, Ben Foster says players don't really enjoy these international breaks. The former England keeper reckons they're just saying what's expected of them.
Recently retired pros, they'll tell you the honest truth, which is we don't want to play these games. We've got no interest in it. It's just a waste of our time. We're in a nice groove in the Premier League. Yeah, we know we've got real competition every single Saturday. Really, really good.
Elsewhere this afternoon, there are ongoing discussions about the effectiveness of taking a knee following a rise in online hate crimes. Players will make the gesture this weekend for the first time this season as part of the Premier League's No Room for Racism campaign. Chief Exec Richard Masters says more must be done to tackle racism on social media. And Spurs have confirmed Fabio Paratici's back as one of 2 sporting directors, as we reported back in August. The Italian has now served a ban for his role in a false accounting scandal at Juventus.
Good afternoon. You're listening to Max Rush and Charlie Baker on talkSPORT between now and 4. After a Surrey cricketer, as granddad is Jimmy White. He spent the whole time saying, I didn't know who this guy was, and why everyone thought he was famous. And I have to say, it's Jimmy White, your granddad. What's your granddad known for? Pete says, hi guys, my granddad was famous in Yorkshire. He crossed a pigeon with a woodpecker and got a bird that not only delivered messages but knocked on the door when he got there.
Oh, very nice. What a nice joke. Nice joke.
You,
Stuart on the M1
really
says,
do.
my granddad was known for being fat. I went to an event with him. He was known for being fat. I went to an event with him about the history of the town. Other old people he went to school with him didn't recognise him because Fatty Wild, that he was known at school, was no longer fat. It was 60 years after he left school, Stuart on the M1. Was no longer Fatty Wild. What a shame.
Wow, what a good thing to be known for. Anyway, let's do a bit of basketball.
Yes, please.
The NBA season starts next week. talkSPORT's going to get you in the mood. We'll broadcast all the London Lions games from the Euro Cup. And one of their players, London Lions forward, Ryan Mikesell, joins us now. Hey, Ryan, how are you?
Hey, how are you guys?
Yeah, very good, thank you.
Yeah, good, thanks. Thanks for coming on. Could you explain to those who aren't totally across basketball what the Euro Cup, I mean, I can guess, but tell us about it.
Yeah, so it's right below the EuroLeague. The EuroLeague is the top European basketball league. It's kind of similar to, let's say, Champions League in football. And then we're the league right underneath it. Obviously, the winner of the Euro Cup will then get an automatic bid to the EuroLeague. So London is definitely trying to kind of make our way into Europe and try to navigate and see kind of how we do amongst the best teams in Europe.
And how are the Lions doing?
Right now, we're struggling a little bit. We're 0-2. We hadn't started off the year that we wanted to. We're undefeated in the domestic league, so we're taking care of business there. But yeah, we have a great opportunity tomorrow night against Trento. They're a good team. They're 1-1 this season. Mm-hmm. So, obviously it's still early in the season. We have a lot. It's a completely new team. New faces, new coaching staff, and everything. So we're still all kind of meshing together. But yeah, I mean, we're figuring it out and doing our best.
Are you 0-2 because you're injured? Is that the reason?
Oh,
if you were there,
that's what it
you'd
is.
be 2-0, no problem.
No. We have a great team. It's just it's sport. It doesn't go as planned all the time.
Yeah, it's interesting you say you're a new team, because that development of basketball teams, particularly because it's so few players who play, and every single player has such an important job to do. That must be tough to get a new team to get it running pretty quickly.
Yeah, for sure. I think kind of to the outside, basketball maybe seem like a simple sport, but there's some complexity to it. There's a lot that kind of goes into it in terms of building chemistry.
Yeah.
Different systems that obviously coaches trying to implement that some guys maybe haven't played before. Myself included. Obviously, I haven't been able to get on the court with the guys, but just watching and stuff. It does take some time, but at the same time, we're all professionals, so we're able to hopefully be able to adapt and make those adjustments so we can kind of keep improving and keep moving forward.
And give us an idea of the atmosphere, because most of our listeners, football, soccer, is the sport that most of us listen to this radio station for. But there is something about being, it's tight in there and you're so close, especially if, you get your courtside tickets next to Larry David and George Clooney. Then, you're just, the sport is right on top of you, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's awesome as a player. That's the best. That adrenaline that you get when you make a big three, you hear the crowd go crazy, or you get a stop, or one of your teammates gets a nice poster dunk on somebody. You just feel the crowd, the energy. That's really infectious, and as players, we feed off that.
Yeah, I went to the MSG 2 years ago to see New York Knicks v Boston Celtics, and I had one of the greatest nights of my life. Completely, the game completely appealed to me. Absolutely loved it. I've followed the Knicks ever since, and I was amazed at how much European involvement there was in the NBA. In fact, a lot of the greatest players, if not the greatest players of all time, are Greek and Serbian, and European basketball is huge.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Europe right now, you can make an argument that the 5 best players in the NBA are all European, so or not American. So it's amazing to see the game grow. Even myself, when I was younger, I only played in the United States, and once I've been an overseas pro, now this is year 6. Just the development that Europe has in general. I played in France and Germany. I played in Israel for a little bit, and just to see the difference compared to the United States, the youth development, the AAU, and all that stuff, it is really interesting, because they do kind of bring up these kids in these clubs, and then they go off and be pros, and they go to this club, and it's really interesting, because in America it's completely different.
Yeah, I know this is a very boring question for a tall person, and I can only apologise, but it makes me work out.
You are a foot taller than Charlie.
It makes me work out where you play where you play. How tall are you?
I'm 6'7", so 201 centimeters.
So you're about sort of average height, aren't you? For the because the bigs are like 7'1", 7'2", and you see these guys, and they are superhuman, massive people. Do you feel sort of small for the first time in your life next to them when you turn up and you're with these sort of enormous guys?
Yeah, I mean, now I'm kind of used to it being kind of the medium-sized guy. But, for example, I played against Victor Wembanyama when he was in France, and he is
What's he, 7'5"? Isn't he 7'5"?
Yeah, 7'5", 7'6".
Yeah.
He might even be taller than that. I mean, he was so good that he wasn't, he was too fast for our big guys. So guys like me had to guard him, but then he's a foot taller than me. So there's times on the court, my wife actually has this funny picture of me standing there guarding him, and I'm looking at his chest. He's that. I'm not exaggerating either. He is so tall, and it's just amazing to see the game. I mean, people like that moving. You see bigger and bigger guys moving like guards. Well,
it's the aggression as well. The aggression is incredible. I couldn't get over how aggressive it was, how quick it was. It's a brilliant sport, especially live.
Yeah, it is. I agree.
And so, just on that height thing, God, I said basketball, you must be God. I came onto this show, and all they did was talk about how tall people are. I remember in that great US team, John Stockton, right, who I think was probably only about 6 foot or 6'2", right? If you are, and I remember there was an episode of More or Less, which is a really interesting podcast about numbers. It's quite geeky, but they were sort of saying the statistical chance of becoming a pro if you are 6'3" is almost zero, right? But if you are there, like absolute elite, if you're 6 foot, to be a basketball player, you've got to be just unbelievable with your hands. What could make somebody of an inverted commas normal height be able to make it?
Yeah, I mean, I think one thing that I've gotten older, and I went to school for mechanical engineering, so I'm a big time problem solver, and I think elite athletes are elite problem solvers on the court, especially when you're really small. You have to be able to compute things quicker than the taller guys because you just don't have that advantage. So I think those small guys, their ability to just like compute and be able to problem solve, whether that's trying to score on this big tall guy or being able to get around this pick or that, I could kind of go on for days and really kind of break down the science behind it. But I think that's what really separates players is their ability to kind of think the game so fast.
Well, Jalen Brunson, who's the captain of the New York Knicks, is 6'2", was clutch player of the year, dug them out of so many holes all season. Just an incredible. He's 6'2", so that's how that is. Who's going to win the NBA? I should ask you who's going to win the Euro Cup. But who's going to win the NBA first?
Ooh, that's hard.
Who's going to win the East and who's going to win the West?
Okay, the East, in my opinion, I think that's completely up for grabs. I think it's just a matter of who can stay healthy. I think the Cavs, I'm an Ohio guy, so I would love to see the Cavs kind of do their thing. So I would love to see them healthy and get a chance at the finals. One of my college teammates, Obi Toppin, plays for the Indiana Pacers. So this past year, I was really rooting hard for them. Obviously, they made it to the finals. Game 7 is what it is with Tyrese getting injured. But, so I'd say the East, the Cleveland Cavaliers, and then in the West, once again, I mean, the Thunder are the defending champs, so I got to go. I got to give the Thunder.
Them. They're like a grinding machine.
Yeah, I think the Nuggets made some big acquisitions this past offseason, so I think they're going to be really good. Obviously, the Warriors stuff, Steph Curry, LeBron. There's LeBron and Luka with the Los Angeles Lakers. So I mean, there's a lot of storylines, but my prediction is Cavs and Thunder.
Great stuff.
Okay, well, listen, Ryan, thanks so much for coming on. We appreciate your time.
Really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
Ryan Mikesell there, London Lions forward. NBA season starts next week, and it'll be across our basketball YouTube channel. Maybe just on our YouTube channel, not a specific basketball channel.
I think it was good we waited for sort of 3 or 4 minutes till we asked how tall he was, because that's like the first thing you ask a tall person, isn't it? Is how tall?
God, blimey, you're tall. Yeah, but also we didn't get round to
the other questions,
suggested questions. What do you do in your spare time? Cooking, other hobbies? Do you collect anything?
Here's one.
Also like you.
You've played in multiple countries. Any funny stories?
We're laughing at somebody who wrote these questions.
I think we're laughing at ChatGPT who wrote those questions. You can't just say any funny stories.
Why don't we do that with every guest we get? Welcome, Ray Houghton. Any funny stories,
Ray?
We could if we did one show. We should just do the any funny stories. We just book
any funny stories,
some raconteurs, and we just go any funny stories. It's a great show, that, isn't it? Or it's a good feature, isn't it? Any funny stories.
I think it's actually 90% of football podcasts. So I think it's been done.
You're probably right. Anyway, you are listening to Rushden Baker on talkSPORT. Brad Hogg, Australian cricketer, will join us in just a second to see if he thinks that this is the worst Australian team since 2010, which is what Stuart Broad said the other day. Good afternoon. You're listening to Max Rushden and Charlie Baker on talkSPORT till 4. Ash is not far away. The barbs are flying. David Warner said Australia would easily win, and Stuart Broad said if Pat Cummins isn't playing, then this is the worst Australian side since 2010. Let's ask an Australian what they think. Brad Hogg, former Aussie international, joins us. Hey, Brad.
Hello,
how are
Brad.
You?
How we going, guys?
Yeah, good, thanks.
Yes,
Stuart Broad
good.
can say all he wants, but can you hear me?
Yeah,
loud and clear.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, Stu Broad can say all he wants. He's probably right at the present moment. We are struggling for a top 3. We don't know where we're going to back Green. Is Webster going to play at 6? Cummins is not right. I think our bowling is going to be all right. We've got Boland coming in, and Hazelwood as well as Stark there, as well as Nathan Lyon. That's good. If Green's fit, batting out 6, he can bowl a few overs. But I think it's the top 3 that we're worried about. Who's going to bat in our top 3? And I think that's where Stuart Broad's attacking. But you guys, you've got to find a spinner. There's no spinner in your team that's going to do that well over here.
Do we need one? Do we need one, Brad?
Well, I don't know. It really depends. If your fast bowlers don't get through our top order very quickly, expose that middle order, I think you do need that spinner. But when times get tough over here, it gets a little bit flatter. The fast bowlers aren't making those inroads. You do need a spinner out one end to hold it up and just to take the pressure off the fast bowlers so that they can change in short spells.
Do you think Stuart Broad would have said this if he hadn't retired and was still part of the team?
Yeah.
I don't think he would have said it if he was playing. So he's put pressure on his younger counterparts right now. But look, at the end of the day, it's great, isn't it, for Test cricket to have that little bit of argy-bargy. David Warner's come out and said something as well. So we just need Glenn McGrath to come out and say that Australia are going to win 5-0.
Yeah, I mean, we need England to really turn up early, don't we? Because like the last series, in Australia, you basically won after the first ball when Mitchell Starc got Rory Burns, and we were a bit like, okay, this one we're not going to stay up all night for this every night because we want it to be close, right? I mean, obviously we want England to win, you want Australia to win, but it'd be so great to get to Sydney 2-2, wouldn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think especially after the Indian-England series that we've just seen, where India fought back in the out the back end of that Test series. It just shows how good Test cricket is, especially with the top 3. That's India, Australia and England. So we need England to come over and really put pressure on Australia, make it close, whether it's 2-1, 2-3, 3-2, whichever way it goes, it doesn't really matter, just as long as we get entertainment. And I think the Barmy Army are really looking forward to getting here at Optus Stadium and really sound that trumpet for the first ball. Hopefully that first ball's an absolute ripper and sets the scene.
A lot of talk about Joe Root not having an Ashes century to his name. Do you think that will come into play? Do you think they'll try and, the longer it goes on, if he doesn't get one in the first innings of the first test, do you think they'll try and play on that, Brad?
Yeah, look, he's a little bit long on the tooth now. He's probably getting to the back end of his career. But I'd just love Joe Root to get 100 over here and get that milestone here in Australia. I think he's been fantastic for England cricket, fantastic for world cricket, great ambassador. And, I'd just like to see him have a lot of success over here. And if this is going to be his last tour to Australia, I hope it's a good one for him because he really deserves it.
Yeah, he's such a wonderful player, isn't he? How big an impact is Pat Cummins not being there for the first test? How important is it for Australia that, not just as a bowler, but as a captain, that he is out there as soon as he possibly can be?
Look, I think it's very important on his leadership side of things, but I think as a bowling unit, I don't think they're really going to miss him if Scott Boland comes in. I think Boland is an absolute beauty, but if we get another injury, then we really are going to have to go deep into the cupboards to find another bowler coming through. We've got Nesta there, but some of our quick bowlers are a little injured, and all the ones that are playing first-class cricket at the moment have had limited experience out first-class cricket. So that's a big concern for us. And also our top order. But Steve Smith will probably take over the captaincy, and I think he's probably got one of the smartest brains going around in world cricket. So I think on a leadership perspective, we probably won't lose too much from Pat Cummins.
And how do the Aussies feel about Bazball?
Oh, yeah.
I think if you look back at it, when you had Langer, Hayden, Ponting up the top of the order there, they were doing a very similar thing. So we really enjoyed. We like that aggressive nature, and I think if you're going to take on Australia, especially over here, I think you really got to attack the bowlers and try and get them off that line and length. If you look at England with the Bazball, they score a lot of runs off that good length where Australia will try and attack here in Australia. And if it comes off and they continue to get those high averages off that good length, Australia are going to have to find different lengths to bowl, and that's where England can really capitalise.
Good stuff, Brad. Thanks for coming on.
Brad.
Thanks very much, guys. Have a great day. Looking forward to it.
Cheers, Brad.
Brad Hogg there, former Australian international. Yes, I was at the Wacker when Adam Gilchrist scored 100 in about 8 balls. That is kind of quite Bazball-y. But I cannot wait. Former England captain Andrew Flintoff, by the way, joins Steve Harmison for a special interview chatting about his new book, Coming Home. That's out now. To watch the full discussion, go to the talkSPORT Cricket YouTube channel.
It's great, that, Max.
Subscribe.
It's a great chat, that. Yeah, they're really good, and they really get into the weeds, and there's some emotional chat in there, and it's a brilliant conversation.
You can get that on talkSPORT Cricket YouTube channel, or on the following on podcast feed, and you can hear live commentary of the first T20 between New Zealand and England in Christchurch this Saturday live on talkSPORT 2. Play gets underway at 7:15. This is Rushden Baker on talkSPORT in partnership with Toolstation. Stay one step ahead, whatever the job. Next stop, Toolstation.
The Lions. Real-life fantasy rugby. Bitter rivalries set aside in a quest to create the world's best team in weeks. There's nothing like it, but who on earth had the idea and how did it all begin? Incredibly, the first Lions tour was organised and funded by three men who played in England's first ever Test cricket match. Opening bowler Alfred Shaw, opening batsman Arthur Shrewsbury and captain James Lillywhite. The 1888 Lions squad then, made up of 17 English, 4 Scots and 1 Welshman and a Northern Irishman, took a 46-day boat trip to New Zealand before heading to Australia. The Lions weren't alone on the boat. Also on board were 300 stoats and weasels who were brought over to eliminate New Zealand's rabbit problem. The first ever Lions captain, Robert Seddon, died of drowning midway through the tour while sculling on a river. Andrew Stoddart, who was another of the cricketers there, took over and was the star of the tour. The next one was the first to get official recognition from the RFU against the newly formed Springboks. Although the Lions won the series and beat the Boks again 5 years later, in the 12 series since in South Africa, they've only won 2. New Zealand has proved an even tougher hunting ground, just a 1 series win for the Lions in 11 attempts, which came in 1971. And then there was that nail-shredding drawn series in 2017, only the second in Lions history. Only once have the Lions clinched a series after losing the first test, 1989, when David Campese's infamous ghost pass was pounced upon by Ian Evans. Before World War II, the Lions had a dark blue strip, which on the 1930 tour forced the All Blacks to play in all white. So in 1950, the iconic red shirts, white shorts and blue and green socks combination was born. It remains the symbol of the greatest alliance of adversaries in all of sport. To borrow the phrase from Jim Telfer, the Lions is Everest.
Good afternoon. You are listening to Max Rush and Charlie Baker with you on talkSPORT until 4. Regarding basketball and our chat, Brent said, nailed it, lads. Basketball is for you too in the future, says Brent.
I do love it. I do love it. I love it.
I was hoping for a boxing interview so we could really prove our worth after 2, I'd say, pretty shabby weeks of boxing.
Not shabby. Just couldn't get a tune out of it. Couldn't get a tune out of it, but there we are.
It's okay. Listen, we have to live and learn. When we can only get better.
Exactly.
But they have said they didn't put anything in today on that. We did demand it, but nothing. Tom says guessing sportsman's heights. Surely there's some legs in that.
Lazy radio.
And Tom says, all right, lads, my granddad was basically the Mick Jagger of metalwork.
Oh, yeah.
He wrote over 50 books, sold thousands in the States, and apparently became a bit of a legend with titles like Lathe Work, A Complete Guide, and The Milling Machine. What any of that actually means, no one in our family ever had any idea, but in his world, he was the top banana, the workshop whisperer, says Tom in London. Lovely stuff.
The Milling Machine. If you're looking for a band name this afternoon, there you go. What a lovely name.
You've got it.
That's it.
My nan is the first British Women's Open darts champion, 1979. Judy Campbell, says Paul Tracker.
Well done,
We're not
Paul.
interested in nans, I'm afraid. It's not a nan. It's a granddad only.
It's granddad.
We will do it's granddad only.
Sorry, Paul.
Yeah. Anyway, let's talk to Ray Houghton.
Yes, please.
From Ireland, Liverpool midfielder, friend of talkSPORT. Of course, we know. Hey, Ray. How you
Hello,
going?
Ray.
Afternoon to you boys.
So look, it took a headbutt from an Armenian to open the door, really. But then you did get the job done, and somehow you could still sneak into the playoffs.
Amazing.
Ray.
Yes, absolutely amazing. I've got to be honest with you, lads. Watching the game last night, particularly the first half, I was fearful that our competition was over with. But you're dead right. The sending off played into Ireland's hands. And from then on, I thought we were the better side. Had more chances than the opposition, got the goal, could have added to it. Their keeper made 2 or 3 outstanding saves. But the most important from last night was to get the 3 points.
Yeah, I think so. But do you... I mean, it's not gone well, this campaign, so far. You are still alive. I mean, you probably need to get something from Portugal, don't you, which is not going to be easy. But when you look at, say, Northern Ireland are playing under Michael O'Neill, and there's, good, exciting young players, you could say the same. You can definitely say the same for Wales and Scotland. And you look and you think of countries of a similar-ish level, why is it not clicking for the Republic of Ireland?
Well, it's a great question, Max, and no one's really got the answer. I mean, we've tried lots of managers, which hasn't quite worked out, but we're looking for that winning formula, whatever it may be. I mean, but we have got some good players. They're extremely hard-working. I was at the game against Portugal in Lisbon on Saturday. Their energy levels was terrific. The way they defended as one was brilliant. But where we've got a problem at the moment, it manifested itself last night, is in the opposition's half. We're not creating enough opportunities. We're not passing the ball in the right way. We're not seeing the pass early enough. We're taking too many touches at times. And they're just little things. And that could be a confident thing as well. When things haven't been going well for the last couple of campaigns, we haven't qualified. We've not really been near qualification. It does impact you. And last night in the stadium, normally the Irish fans are very, very vocal. But in the first half last night, they were very quiet. They were looking like they were waiting for something to happen, and nothing did happen. But as soon as the sending off came about, that livened things up, and the players realised it was a real opportunity. But you're quite right. Hungary last night got a draw in Portugal 2-2, Szoboszlai with a late equaliser. That's a massive point for Hungary, because it now puts us under pressure to get some sort of result in our next game against Portugal in Dublin. That's going to be absolutely huge. And we're going to need the fans that night. We're going to have them fully behind us. And we only played Portugal Saturday, so we know what they're like, we know what their capabilities are. Yeah. And we've seen that we've got enough there to frighten them, to give them a real game.
Yeah, I mean, the spine of the team is pretty good, isn't it, Ray? It's, you got really solid goalkeeper, and Ferguson and Parrott's coming back into the side, isn't he? And he's having a good time. So he sort of just need that one player to really step up and, as you say, break teams down.
Yeah, that's the thing, Charlie. You're absolutely right. That's the player we've not quite got at the moment. Finizaz is a player who's got that ability. But I think because he was out of the game against Portugal, came in last night, maybe he was trying a little bit too hard. I think if he just tried to settle down a little bit and play his natural game, he's got that ability to do that. We've got pace. Ebiseli started last night, and you look at how dynamic he was down the right hand. He was the one player in the first half who looked a threat to the opposition. We've got Ogbeni also, who's got a bit of pace about it. But these lads are coming back to fitness, and hopefully with more games in the coming weeks, that they'll be ready for the fixtures in November. And they're 2 massive games. They're going to obviously determine if we're going to make the playoffs or not. So there's a lot at stake. There's a lot at stake for Armenia. There's a lot at stake for Hungary. There's going to be pressure on all 3 teams, because we certainly feel that Portugal only qualified top of the group. And then it's just going to be a bit of a bun fight, if you like, for that second place.
Are you confident in the manager?
Yeah, I like him. I've spoken to him many times, Max. He's a lovely fella. He really is. He's got the best interests of the country at heart. He wants to be a success, but you're limited to what you've got. You've only got the players for a few days, and then you've got to try and, get them into the mindset that you want from how you want them to play, and it's not easy to do. So I think he's done an okay job so far, but he will be judged on results. He's not a fool. He fully understands where he stands at the moment. His contract's up at the end of the campaign, and it'll be dependent upon what happens in the next 2 matches, what happens there. But the players have got to stand up a little bit as well now. They did on Saturday. They were magnificent. It was a rearguard action, and they were ready for the fight that came their way. And what I would say to them, if I was giving them some instructions and, just a bit of advice, enjoy the next 2 games. Don't let it be a burden. Make it an enjoyable occasion, a successful occasion, something that you'll look back on when your career's finished and say, you know what, playing for my country, one of the biggest achievements you can get in football, and we done it. When we were pressed, we were ready for what came our way, and we picked up the points required to get us through to that playoff.
Yeah, one of your old teams, Liverpool, Ray, play Man United on Sunday, 4:30.
Yeah, quiet game.
Yeah, quiet game for them. I think the international break may have come at a good time for them, Ray. Not the best of starts to the season, and they may have needed to sort of stop and get back together and so they can go again.
I've got to be honest with you, Charlie. There'll be a few teams that picked up 15 points from the first 7 and thought it was not a bad start.
Yes, of course, yeah.
But the last couple of, you're right. The last 3 games, I was there for 2 of them. I was down at Palace, and Palace could easily have been 3 or 4. It was a game of 2 halves. Palace could easily have been 3 or 4 up at half time. They were by far the better team. Liverpool, they came back into it in the second half against Palace and conceded that late Eddie Nketiah goal to give Palace the win. And then they went down to Chelsea. Chelsea, I thought, played very, very well. Really impressed with Caicedo in midfield and Gusto. I thought they were absolutely magnificent in there. And Liverpool struggled. But you're right, the form hasn't been as good as it can be. They were picking up results, but they're going to try and get back to winning ways. And this is going to be another tough match for them. Liverpool Man United games historically are always tough. It's very, very competitive. Liverpool, I think, over the last few years have certainly had the edge over Manchester United, and they need to get back to start winning again. And this could be a good opportunity for them.
I wrote a column about this in the Guardian, Ray, about the fact that Diogo Jota's passing, and it was so tragic, is even though the news cycle moves so quickly, and so everyone else, you move on to other things that are happening in the news, and then the season starts. But we just shouldn't forget that their pre-season must have been incredibly difficult. It must have been difficult for the players who knew him, of course, the new players coming in, knowing how to react to that, and the staff as well. And so it's kind of unquantifiable how that affects those players. But it would not be a surprise at all if it had a big impact on, this entire season for them.
Max, couldn't agree with you more. A lot of people don't tend to give it any credence to that. They just think you get on with it. Your football has just gone with the job of playing, but you don't know, what an influence Diogo was around the other players. I mean, he was. I used to go and watch him. I love watching him play. He's a huge loss to the football community. Our prayers still go out to his family and his friends, because they know how much they loved him and how much he's missed at the moment. And he's certainly been missed with the Liverpool public, the Liverpool fans. When the 20 minutes come up, every game that I've been to, they've been singing his name. They'll never forget him, that's for sure. He's part of the very fabric of Liverpool Football Club. But you're certainly right about the impact he had on the players who were there, who played alongside him. We can never quantify that because we weren't in that position. They were. And we don't know, how much it's impacted them as players so far. But certainly, having talked to a few of them, they certainly miss them dearly at the moment.
Yeah. Well, look, Ray, lovely to talk to you as always.
Thanks,
Good
Ray.
to see you, my friend. Take
Thanks,
care.
boys.
Ray Houghton there, former Republic of Ireland.
What a player,
midfielder.
Max. What a player. Some of those goals Ray Houghton scored. Oh, just brilliant. Just
at a garden party in '88 when he headed that one past Shilton.
Yeah.
It was very upsetting.
Wasn't it? A brilliant player. Just a brilliant
the Shinner
player. against
Italy, I was delighted with, to be fair.
Any funny stories at all about
Any
that?
funny stories, right? Do you collect anything? Got a 2-word phone in. Two-word phone in. 2 words only. 2-word phone in next. It's very simple questions. 2 words, nothing more. 3 words, never call again. Very, very simple. 03717 22 3344. How far will England go in the World Cup? Let's get a gauge. Let's get a gauge of where we're at.
So
on
you can
the,
go Pete, 4th.
Yeah.
You can say that if you want.
Or semi-finals.
Groups.
Yeah, absolutely. I think people know how far you get in a World Cup, don't they?
I'm just saying how you say it in 2 words.
You could say, yeah. Winners, that would be one.
Winners, that's nice. Yeah. Finals.
Let's see how it goes.
Semi-finals.
03717 do you think we've explained it enough? 03717 223344. How far do you think England will go in the World Cup? Get a gauge. We'll get a gauge of the nation.
Only. Two words only.
It's like a Murray poll, isn't it? It's like a YouGov survey. 03717 223344. How far will England go in the World Cup? We'll do that in a second. What's the best goal, Andy?
Josimar.
Oh, lovely. Just one word needed.
Ian
is a Man City fan. What's the best year, Ian?
2012, Aguero!
Oh, never call again. Too many words. Don't use your phone again. Michael, throw your SIM card out of your phone. Throw it out the window. Drive over.
Burn your phone. Burn it.
Michael, as a Preston fan, what's the best goal?
Poppycock.
What a great phone-in.
Phone in.
So the phone number 03717 223344. How far will England go in the World Cup? 2 words and 2 words only. This text said it's not 2 words only. It's a maximum of 2 words only. You fools. That's 2 words for you. Lots of text on this subject. Not interested.
No text.
It is only a phone-in. It is the way we gauge the mood of the nation.
2 words on the phone.
03717 223344. How far will England go in the World Cup? You happy to begin the phone in, Charlie?
Let's go. I'm always happy with the phone in.
Let's do it. Martin is a Derby fan. How far will England go?
Hello, Martin.
The quarters max.
Quarters max.
Quarters max. Phil is a Liverpool fan. How far will England go?
Plucky finalist.
Plucky finalist, but losing. Hey, Charlie, what a brilliant phone.
They've got one more, Ked, the Charlton fan. Hello, Ked.
Hello.
That's one word.
You've got one left. One word left.
Go on,
Where
Ked.
is he going to go?
Surprise. There we go. It was crackers. It was absolutely crackers. There we are.
Really like Ked.
The phone in. Use your phone. Ring the phone. It's the telephone. Time for a phone call. Ring, ring, ring. Hyperbole. Intrigue. 2 words. Thoughts. Consideration. It's your time to shine. People saying their thing. Get on with it. You on the radio. Imagine that.
People have missed their slot, Max. They're all getting in. They're all calling now. It's
too late.
They missed their
It's too late.
slot.
Once the jingles happened, it doesn't matter. When the phone lines are red hot, you either call when you call. We're not interested. You do it with conviction. That's all we wanted. Those 3 people. Now, millions of Brits are facing an entire week without even a minute of sunshine, thanks to the gloomiest weather for years. A 1,000-mile wide blanket of cloud will trigger seasonal affective disorder, which makes sufferers feel down due to a lack of sunshine in winter. October's average 20 hours a week of sun has been reduced to 0 by low cloud being trapped by high pressure.
Wow.
So that's exciting news, isn't it?
So it feels like a big blanket. I don't think I'd like a 1,000-mile wide blanket. I like to put my leg out. I like to put my leg out of the blanket.
No, I like to flick up the bottom and just get that underneath. I don't like to be tucked in. I don't like to be tucked in, but I like to be able to flick up the bottom and just get my... So if it was 1,000 mile, it would be really, really...
It's 1,000 miles wide. It doesn't say how deep it is, so you might be able to still...
more news.
Oh, yeah, so go on.
From the Daily Star.
Oh, lovely. Go on.
This is about balding. Slapheads are celebrating a possible cure for baldness.
Oh, yeah, balding.
That's really politely how they put that way. It's easy for you. You have an amazing head of hair. I'm sort of heading that way.
I know we've all got problems, Max, you know.
Yeah, that's true. What empathy you have for the non-hirsute. That's it. You shouldn't be a therapist for bald people. Well, they say your new vocation as a therapist for bald people is not going well.
Not going well.
We've all got problems, mate.
Baldy.
Boffins have developed a miracle potion by mixing caffeine, 2 proteins that boost hair cells, and a plant extract. The mixture has shown good results in just 2 months. With trial volunteers enjoy thicker locks and reduced hair loss. That's good, isn't it?
Well, you can go and get it. Go to Turkey, can't you? You can get it woven in. Or this country, you don't have to go to Turkey. You can get it done in this country. I think Lloyd Griffith got it done in this country. It looks very, very good.
Well done, Lloyd.
And if you want to know the process, do follow him on the Instagram. He's done a whole story
about it.
If you
do get rethatched, you are a sort of a minor celebrity. I don't know where Lloyd Count. He was on the One show yesterday, so maybe he's now an A-lister.
Very well, isn't he? Doing very
well. It's a good show. I enjoy that. Death in Paradise.
Oh yeah.
The Parasphere, as it's known. I like all of them, if I'm being honest. But yeah, if you do get rethatched, you have to then do a really... you have to publicise it, don't you?
You do, yeah. You
thanks
do have to.
Thanks to
Dr.
Jeff's extra hair. That's which is
what a lovely...
Not the best name.
I don't think I'd go to Jeff's extra hair.
I think
it doesn't.
I think that's where I'd go. We're cheaper than most.
Look, we're not saying where the hair. We're not saying where the hair's going to go.
No. Ask no questions. We're not saying where it's going to go or where it comes from.
Don't ask where it's from, for goodness sake.
When you walk out, you will have extra hair. We don't know where.
On your body.
That's Jeff's extra hair.
Jeff's extra hair.
I saw Monday Night Football. Super Sundays. Dave Jones did one of these. And,
did he? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, he's not been rethatched.
Oh, okay.
No, but he got some dental work. And,
did he?
He just went to
Jeff's
the dentist.
extra teeth.
You don't want that.
Don't ask where they're from. That's the slogan.
Dave Jones has now got an extra. He's got an extra set. Like a shark. He's had an extra set put in. No, it was like a 10-second video. I was just doom scrolling, and actually it made me smile. He's a lovely guy, Dave. But he went, I just went to, I went to Mr. Dentist, and and I had a nice time. End of video.
Jeff's extra hair and teeth's mortal enemy is Mr. Dentist.
Do you think though? Because I don't know the. I'm a big fan of Dave Jones. He's a consummate broadcaster. He's very good at what he does.
Yeah, very good.
But if he is his recommendation going to get me changing? Is it
going to get you in?
Is it going to change my dentist?
Well, if you look at Dave Jones, his teeth are looking good.
Yeah, I've never studied his teeth.
I've never seen his teeth before.
Yeah. Oh, so you don't know them before and after?
No, I don't know. I'd need to see before.
If he came in now and you thought his teeth looked good, you say got no idea. They might have been great before.
Exactly. They might have just been, you had your teeth done. No. Exactly, yeah. There we are.
That was nice.
That's nice.
It? Yeah,
I like Jeff's extra hair was my favourite bit. That was my favourite bit.
I think it was. It was good. I was going to do some
Alan, the
stuff.
QPR fan, you were too late.
Hello, Alan.
Chris, the Arsenal fan, you were too late. Too late on the phone in. They didn't get it in time. Denchi from Essex texted in. It's not a texting topic.
No, it's not
Denchi.
a text subject. No, absolutely right.
Do
you want some sumo facts?
Oh yes, I love sumo.
There are over 600 sumo wrestlers in Japan. Lower ranks are expected to cook and clean for superiors.
Gosh.
That is the same as at talkSPORT, which is very upsetting. Me and Charlie constantly, yes, Mr. Jordan, I've made you a souffle. Yeah, here you are, Mr. Stelling. How's this shepherd's pie for you? We have to cook and we have to clean. You're constantly cleaning for Alan Brazil.
Always.
That's a tough one.
Always.
You have to do Brazil's bathroom, and that is,
I do.
Of all the straws to pick.
The equivalent of Alan's boot boy, I am. Yeah.
And they've had to reinforce the toilets.
At the Albert Hall, because they're at the Albert Hall, aren't they?
I presume they brought in some reinforced toilets at the Royal Albert Hall.
That was just for the Iron Maiden gig last week.
The heaviest ever. Do you want to have a guess? The heaviest
ever sumo?
Yeah, heaviest ever sumo wrestler. How heavy are they?
In stone?
In stone, yeah.
In stone.
Do you want his name?
No. Yeah, go on, yeah.
Aurora Satoshi.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good for Jolly Hockey Sticks, Aurora Satoshi.
Yeah, absolutely. When sumo comes up.
Aurora Satoshi is a big star, of course.
Yeah.
I'm going to say 35 stone.
Okay, higher.
Higher. Wow.
Higher.
I've had my guess. If anyone wants to ring in and have a guess, go for it.
Oh, is that it? You're going to have one guess?
You're only allowed one guess in this.
Really?
And what do they weigh?
I didn't know that. Okay, so we just do the next guest. Who's the next guest?
I don't know.
Who we got now?
I hope they've got some funny
Lee
stories.
Lee Wingate from the Sweeper Pods, who talked. I reckon he'll have a guess.
Give him a guess.
We'll lovely. We'll give Lee a guess, unless you want a guess. 8:10:89. How heavy is Aurora Satoshi? It's Max Rush and Charlie Baker. We're brought to you by Jeff's Extra Hair. Don't ask where it's from.
Don't ask where it's from.
Don't ask where it's going. But you're guaranteed to have extra hair. And Lee Wingate from the Sweeper Pod will join us, and we'll talk about the Cape Verde and Faroe Islands and just all the other World Cup qualifying that you've probably missed.
Danny Murphy has been questioning what we've really learnt about Thomas Tuchel's team in qualifying, but the former England midfielder does expect more positive performances at next summer's World Cup.
I think if you're playing Spain in 30-degree heat, you can't go after them for more than 10 or 15 minutes. You've got to be cute and clever and maybe pick people who can counter really well for you, because Spain will dominate the ball. But I don't see Tuchel being too single-minded in playing one way all the time. He's not daft.
Meanwhile, Ben Foster says players don't really enjoy these international breaks. The former England keeper reckons they're just saying what's expected of them.
Recently retired pros, they'll tell you the honest truth, which is we don't want to play these games. We've got no interest in it. It's just a waste of our time. We're in a nice groove in the Premier League. Yeah, we know we've got real competition every single Saturday. Really, really good.
Elsewhere this afternoon, there are ongoing discussions about the effectiveness of taking a knee following a rise in online hate crimes. Players will make the gesture this weekend for the first time this season as part of the Premier League's No Room for Racism campaign. Chief Exec Richard Masters says more must be done to tackle racism on social media. And Spurs have confirmed Fabio Paratici's back as one of 2 sporting directors, as we reported back in August. The Italian has now served a ban for his role in a false accounting scandal at Juventus.
It's got to be Harry Potter and the potholes of something.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I was expecting. Just one resident said Harry Potter and the potholes. They really want the interviewer to go away. Just Harry Potter and the potholes. It's got to be just, you know, if you think about how they all scan all the Harry Potter books, you can't just end it there.
Story made my teeth itch. I just thought, oh God, shut up about it. Harry Pothole, surely. Harry Pothole, surely.
No, that works. That does work. Anyway, let's talk to Lee Wingate, one half of the brilliant Sweeper Pod with our mate Paul Watson. Hey, Lee, how you going?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, very well.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, very good.
And look, it's the World Cup is fun. In the 80s and 90s it was good because there were countries you hadn't heard of and there were players you hadn't heard of. Now we've heard of most of them, so it's good when countries that have never qualified before, and I suppose that is one advantage of having so many more teams in the World Cup, that we will see Cape Verde, and a lot of fans will know nothing about Cape Verde, and the scenes there when they qualified were brilliant.
Oh yeah, sensational. In Praia, this is this sort of rocky archipelago in the Atlantic Ocean off the coast of, I think, Senegal. They've never really made any waves in football until a few AFCON tournaments recently. But then over the last few years, they have made incredible use of this massive diaspora that they've got living abroad in various sort of pockets of Cape Verdeans overseas. They've got a big hub in, I think, Boston. They've got lots of Cape Verdeans in Portugal, of course, as a former Portuguese colony. 6 of the players that were in the squad yesterday were all born in Rotterdam in one neighbourhood. So amazing. What their project has been over the last few years is really to reach out to people living living beyond Cape Verde make use of this big diaspora. And as such, they've put together a really, really good squad, players that are playing all over Europe, from Ireland to Azerbaijan. And yeah, it's done the magic.
Do you think you're going to
they've got an Irish centre-back, haven't they?
Have they? Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, he was actually recruited via LinkedIn, which I think is amazing in the world of, like, you know, in this modern football world, that you can still get players that are sent a DM on LinkedIn, which actually he initially ignored because he thought it was spam. So they sent him a message in Portuguese, but because his dad's from Cape Verde, but he's grown up in Ireland, thick Dublin accent, he doesn't speak Portuguese. So he saw this and just presumed it was social media spam. And then, fortunately, the coach Bubista got back in contact with him, this time in English, about 9 months later. And he was like, "Oh yeah, I'd love to be involved if that's still possible." And he's been a big part of the Cape Verde story ever since.
Is this good news for you, Lee, or will you spend your whole World Cup going, "I knew about Cape Verde before it was cool"?
I think that's the magic of... I know there's a lot of criticism of the 48-team World Cup, but for me, I think one of the things we love on the Sweeper is these countries and leagues that you don't really hear about. And I think we have so much information in the football world now. Yeah. I kind of miss the 90s, where you used to watch the Champions League and think, "Oh, that's Rapid Vienna. I don't know anything about them." And now we're going to be watching a World Cup with the likes of Cape Verde, with Uzbekistan, with Jordan, potentially Gabon if they can navigate the playoffs, a French overseas territory in New Caledonia. So I understand there's a lot of criticism, but for me, it just brings some of the magic of football back that I think we lost along the way.
There's nothing I don't know about the Uzbek team, but for listeners who aren't perhaps as across it, tell us about Uzbekistan.
Well, Max, Uzbekistan have had great generations of youth players for quite some time, and they've had a few really agonizingly close misses when it comes to getting in the World Cup. And this year, I mean, this was earlier this year because the Asian World Cup qualifiers concluded in June, but they got there, as did Jordan. So they are two of the three debutants that have already secured their place. They've got a very talented generation of players, but I think the sort of news or the update coming from Uzbekistan over this international window is that they've fired the coach that got them over the line, Timur Kapadze, and they have brought in Fabio Cannavaro, who obviously a legend of football from his playing days, a World Cup winner, but has had a very nomadic coaching career, briefly with the Chinese national team, with various clubs in China as well, with Dinamo Zagreb in Croatia, I think. But now he's being brought in essentially for the World Cup, which I think is quite harsh on the guy that's guided them there.
For the first time you've ever got there. You're the first time you've ever done that. And they say, "Sorry, we're getting someone famous in." It's a bit like...
I wouldn't watch it.
You know,
I wouldn't watch it.
It's a bit like when you're like, if you're, you sit in for a pilot of a quiz show and then, they give it chappers. You're like, "Oh, come on, guys, I've done that. I've done all the hard work." I mean, that's just an example. That's not a real life thing.
That felt like a pointed example.
It wasn't, as it goes. Can we talk about the Faroe Islands, Lee? Because, I think we all remember, people of a certain age, the bobble hat. Was it called Knudsen, or am I just making that up? But the fact that they've won 3 in a row and beating the Czech Republic, and the frustration is, even though they've done so well, the way the fixtures are and the group is, it looks like they're just going to miss out.
Yeah, so it looks like they now need to beat Croatia, and they would need, I think, the Czech Republic, if I'm not mistaken, to drop points against Gibraltar, which is obviously beyond unlikely. But I think we just have to... We can only admire it, really. This is an archipelago in the North Atlantic. They've got terrible conditions. They have like 300 days of rain every year.
Yeah.
The conditions are difficult for playing football. They've only got 50,000 people, but yet they just love football. So the Faroe Islands have the highest proportion of the population that goes to matches every weekend of any country, I think, in the world, definitely in Europe. It's around 10%. They open up all of their football pitches on the islands so that kids can just go and play on them, which itself, that's a great way to encourage imagine if you could just go and play on a professional football pitch in your spare time rather than putting jumpers down for goalposts. And they've done amazing work, both at club level with Koyi Klaksvik in the Conference League, but on the international stage in the last few years, they've beaten Turkey. And when you compare the size of Turkey, like 80-something million people or whatever it is, to 50,000. The other day, I think the Czech Republic, it's something like 50 or 60 times. They're 50 or 60 times smaller than the Czech Republic in terms of it's either the surface area or a population. So they are absolute minnows, and yet they are just consistently getting it right. And it is just agonizing that they are probably going to just fall short for the World Cup.
Who should we be looking at as sort of dark horses that have made it? Who's going to get the result that makes us all sit up and go, yes, the World Cup has started?
That's extremely difficult to say, especially knowing the fact that we've got 48 teams. The group stages are going to work a bit differently because obviously at the last World Cup, I felt it was so perfectly balanced with the groups. You've got 8 groups of 4, just the top 2 going through. This time it's going to be difficult to know which outsiders will make it through as like the best third place teams or however it's going to work. I would like to say that the debutants can do well, but honestly it just depends so much on the draw. So I'm going to back the Cape Verde, but that is more wishful thinking, I think, rather than anything else.
Thanks for coming on, Lee. Great stuff.
Thank you, Lee.
Thanks, guys.
Lee Wingate there from the Sweeper Pod that he does with Paul Watson.
They'll get a point. They'll get a point, won't they, Max? Cape Verde, they'll get 1 point.
I don't know.
You don't know. You don't know what group they're in or anything yet, do we?
It's not been drawn. They could get the group of death, couldn't they?
They could be.
And they'll be embarrassed.
But then it wouldn't be if they were in it. It wouldn't be the group of death, would it? Because
he could have
4 teams need to be good. How big are the groups in next year's World Cup?
They're all 4, yeah. But you could have 3 big guns. You have 3 big guns
for a group of death. I think you need 4 teams for a group of death.
I think with a 48-team World Cup, we're gonna actually see that the group of death is not as deathly as in previous times. A bit like when the Euros expanded. When the Euros was 16 teams, and you were like, suddenly, wow, it was straight in. This is like straight in, all 4. They are tough games. Anyway, this is it's not the warm-up, is it? This is H&J on talkSPORT. You can watch talkSPORT, whichever show you want, on your telly. You can watch it from Samsung and LG TVs to Fire TV, Chromecast and Apple TV, or just grab the app on Android TV and Google TV. We're even on Prime Video, talkSPORT live on your screen, as well as your speakers. And we'll talk to Matthew Priest, drummer from Dodgy, Liverpool fan. He's got some new music out, and we'll chat to him in just a second. Hello Beautiful by Dodgy, their new one. In a Room, that's the best, isn't it? Is that the best one? That's my favourite. Matthew Priest, drummer from Dodgy, big Liverpool fan, is in the studio. Welcome, Matthew. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you, Max. Does it sound good in Australia?
That sounds very good in Australia. Sounds great in my shed. There are times when I'm singing in my shed, going, this is a weird way to exist, isn't it? But yeah, really enjoying it. It's very nice to meet you and chat. You're on tour at the moment. How's it going?
We're halfway through the tour and it's going better than we could have expected. Loads and loads of people coming down, loving it. And yeah, we've got Liverpool, Leeds and Lincoln, the 3 L's this weekend.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, if you can get 6 points in the first 2, you've done well. You've got to hope for a win against Lincoln, haven't you? That's what you hope for.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're a Liverpool fan, aren't you?
I am a Liverpool fan. Yeah, it's a funny old time at the moment, isn't it? You know?
Yeah.
It's it's. I think because the spotlight's on them. You know, people love to talk about Liverpool anyway, because everyone loves Liverpool secretly. You know what I mean?
Deep down?
Yeah, deep down.
I wait for the text. Wait for the text.
They all want to be Liverpool fans deep down.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. No, I think because we've made such massive purchases,
Yeah.
and it's not quite working out at the moment. Wirtz isn't quite working out, and Isak hasn't really shown his stuff. Ekitike obviously has been brilliant, but that's it, and Salah, our golden boy is not firing.
Not quite firing yet, is he?
Not firing yet. So it's there. We've been in worse situations with worse managers, with a whole lot worse squads, and we've come through. So I've got faith in the boys, and they'll work it out.
I like the origin story of Dodgy, which I spoke to you about on my Virgin Radio show before. But you set up a club night, didn't you?
Yeah.
Club Dodgy.
That's it. Yeah.
And you would play, and you'd get local bands to come and play.
No, not local bands.
Other bands to come and play.
No.
Okay, I've got this wrong. You tell us.
No, the thing is, Charlie, what we'd do, because it was the start of the 90s, and so it was hedonistic. There was a lot of people going to clubs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so we advertised it as a club night, and advertised the kind of music that we'd be playing, which is what a lot of youngsters.
Oh yeah, the young people.
The young people were into. Whether it be the Stone Roses or Delights and Stereo MCs and NWA, and we'd advertise the bands, and then sort of sneakily I would say Dodgy live at 10 o'clock, and so people would come down for the club night, and then we'd play.
Yeah.
And it was the Dodgy Club, and it was before, because I was with you on another one of your shows, Charlie.
Works everywhere. That's right. They're sister stations.
And we were about to do a Dodgy. It was the 35th anniversary of the Dodgy Club on the actual day of Hello Beautiful, which was the release of our single, and we did that down in the club. And it was 35 years since I've been down to Bacchus Wine Bar in Kingston, and we used to play down there. We used to set up and have a club down there. And I walked in there, and as soon as I walked in, I nearly hit my nose on the back wall. It was so small. I could not believe how small it was. That's what we used to play here.
So like when you go back to your old primary school, you go, this hall used to be enormous.
I used to sit in that chair. I can't get my foot in it.
And 35 years.
Yeah.
35 years is an insane amount of time to be in anything, right?
It's ridiculous. I mean, I remember when I was a kid and think, the Rolling Stones. I remember seeing an interview with Charlie Watts, and it was like, so Charlie, you've been in the rock and roll business 25 years. It was the Rolling Stones. It's like, they've been going years. Yeah. And in 25 years, and he gave a brilliant answer, and he said, 5 years playing, 20 years hanging around.
Yeah, in airports, wasn't it? Yeah, that's
so,
what it was.
I know, it's ridiculous. I mean, but the thing is, we all still think we're 19 in our heads, and we behave like it on tour as well. So as long as you still feel, and you can say, we're playing better than we've ever played, We really are, so we're loving it.
Well, that's, not to say the O word, but that's what Oasis said, and a lot of Oasis fans said, is that they're playing better because they know what they're doing now. When they first started out, it was all sort of with a lot of passion and writing with every bit of your heartbeat that you've got.
Yeah.
But now you've got sort of 20 years, 30 years experience behind it as well, that it sounds even better than ever.
Yeah, exactly. There is an old story about an old bull and a young bull at the top of a hill with a load of cats at the hill. But I'm not going to say that one.
Tell that.
Not for you, Charlie. I'm not going to tell that. If anyone wants to text into the show, I will say that off air.
Have you found you've got lots of younger, because obviously I think of Dodgy and I immediately think of Good Enough and In a Room, and I think think of being 16 again with my 3 CD changer stereo and just listening to these songs on loop, But like, have you found you like have brought a new audience in as well as middle-aged people having midlife crises like me?
What's crazy, Max, is we did a gig in Camden Dingwalls as part of like a weekender festival. Impop were doing which is promoters. They were doing a weekend where they had loads of young bands, but they had a kind of token older band, heritage band, as it were, to finish the night off at Dingwalls. And so the audience, the general sort of demographic of that whole weekend, of that whole day, was very young. And Dingwalls was full of, 18, 19-year-old kids chanting Dodgy and literally singing every word. And it was obviously it was amazing, because you think, great, they're going to be buying records for the next few years then. But it was amazing. And sure enough, on this tour, there were kids there. And I think a lot, initially it was because the parents would be playing, they were brought up on it, but they're finding it themselves. You know what I mean? My son, he'll find like an obscure record and he'll say, have you heard this by The Fall, Dad? And I'm like, how did you find that? And he goes, don't ever ask me how I find stuff, because stuff finds me. Because it is.
The algorithm will find it. They'll find it for you.
So it's kids are brilliant at finding stuff, and thankfully they're finding Dodgy.
So you're touring with Dodgy. What have you got left? Liverpool, Leeds, Lincoln, Torquay, the arena, and the sub rooms in Stroud. Take your dream catcher to Stroud.
That's it. EMF
you're also going on tour with Black Grape.
Black Grape. That's why we had to route the tour going to places like Frome and Lincoln and Stroud, because we're doing the cities with Black Grape in December.
Yeah.
So we're doing I've been saying the last date of the tour is the Saturday before Christmas in Manchester with Black Grape.
Oh my goodness, man!
I know, and I don't think our bass player is going to survive it. It's a shame, because I like the guy. We're doing London, we're doing Brixton. In London, we're doing Brighton, Southampton. So we're doing the major cities with Black Grape, and I think a lot of shows are already sold out. I think Glasgow's already sold out. So we're really looking forward to that. And then the album's out next year, May the 1st.
Brilliant. Well, it's so good of you to come in. It was great to chat. Come in again whenever you like.
I was expecting another quiz on Liverpool. I've been...
Liverpool quiz we gave last time on the Virgin show. We do a quiz, Max. Yeah, football quiz on Game On.
Okay.
Virgin Radio 2 till 6. Saturdays and Sundays.
Give my love to the Australians there, Max.
I will give my love to all the Australians in my show. There's a moth and there was a cockroach there yesterday. Currently in the
were you never on?
Going to kill you. Don't all insects kill you in Australia or something?
Were you never on Soccer AM with Max? Did you do? You must have done. That must have been.
I can't remember last week, Charlie. I can't remember anything.
What a shame.
Yeah. Martin, my biggest fear, Matthew, is that I'm put in a room with all the bands I interviewed on Soccer AM, and I can't leave until I put them all together. They're the Cribs, they're the Editors, they're the Klaxons. I'll never ever leave. Hey, look, we'll play out with Good Enough. Why not? Everyone loves it.
Excellent.
Thank you so much, Matthew.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Max,
your time.
Thank you, Charlie.
More green jackets have been lost at the 12th than at the Augusta City dry cleaners. Rory McIlroy knows this better than most. But what is Amen Corner and why is it so iconic? The famous sequence has always been there since the Masters began in 1934. It didn't get its name until '58, though, when American sports writer Herbert Warren Wind, on the left, wrote, "At the farthest reach of the Augusta National Course, down in the Amen Corner." He drew inspiration from the 1933 jazz song Shouting in That Amen Corner by the Dorsey Brothers. The reason behind its difficulty is all in the sand and the water. Tournament officials don't even bother to count the balls lost in there each year, such is the sheer number. The 11th, named White Dogwood, is a downhill 520-yard par 4 with a pond to the left of the green and a bunker to the right. Both cause a lot of trouble each year. The 12th, Golden Bell, is perhaps the most famous hole in the world, with danger everywhere. Many aim for the flag, but look, get it even slightly wrong, and you're in the azaleas at the back, or the bunkers at the front, or even worse, Rays Creek. Or you can play it safe and aim for the open green on the left. You chicken. Tiger Woods once said, if you make 4 bogeys from Thursday to Sunday, you're doing well. And the highest ever score on that hole? 13. It's a par 3. Tom Weiskopf in 1980 was the sorry soul. Often the iconic Ben Hogan Bridge is the only thing players enjoy about Golden Bell. Even if you escape there unscathed, though, you met with Azalea, the dogleg par 5 13th. It tempts players to go for the green in 2, but cut over those trees on the left at your peril. Every year, it seems, Amen Corner destroys someone's dreams. Rory McIlroy dropped 3 shots through here as his round unravelled in 2011. In 2016, a year after navigating Amen Corner expertly, Jordan Spieth shot a quadruple bogey on the 12th to throw away his green jacket. I mean, it sounds like my game, to be honest. So who'll be the next to be brought to their knees, praying for mercy after Amen Corner?
Good afternoon, you are listening to Hawksbee and Jacobs on talkSPORT. Max Rush and Charlie Baker here until 4. And we don't make a big thing, Charlie, about me being in Australia.
No, but Matthew was quite keen to talk about it, wasn't he?
Yeah, no, that's fine. But I mentioned the animals, and I forgot to say that it is currently, it's bat season. And,
bat season.
The bats fly over the shed.
Oh, yeah.
And I just popped into the house to use the facilities, and they're enormous.
How big are they, Max?
Flew over my head.
How big are the bats?
They are like a
cat, like a cat flying over.
Yeah, I'd say like a cat between a crow and a cat.
Oh my gosh!
So they
really?
do make you go, oh,
oh yes.
Yeah. So we're in bats.
I was in the Seychelles once. I was there for 24 hours.
Someone's doing very well.
No, I had a gig there for 24 hours. But I looked like I'd gone on honeymoon and my bride had not come with me. But the bats in the Seychelles are toddler size. They are enormous.
Really?
Yes.
Really? This is really,
yes.
You know,
talk bat.
This is relatable content.
People like this, don't they?
Come on. And what's the biggest bat you've seen in the Seychelles? 81089. Baker Street. James says, my granddad, on the subject of what your granddad is known for.
Was good, yeah.
My granddad was known by us as Joe Willis, as he lived in a vest like the one Bruce Willis wore in Die Hard. He was a bus driver, and he was known on the buses as Corned Beef Joe, because he had it in his sandwiches every day.
Lived in a vest and ate corned beef. I like the sound of this guy.
It's rare you find a man with 2 great aliases. Corned Beef Joe. So keep
alias?
Those coming, please.
Yeah, that's a good texter. What's your alias?
1089. Someone's just texted Caster USM. Oh, they were.
They were good. Yeah,
they were some
very,
great
very
songs.
Yeah. Still going or not? Are they still going?
Don't know. I'll check. Anyway, you might have seen Sulford City. There was a crane, and there were some people in a crane 50 metres in the sky watching Sulford City at the weekend. Two Sulford City fans alongside social media creators, comedians Tom Garrett and Tom Nestor. And Tom Nestor joins us now. Tom, how are you?
Hello, Tom.
Max, hello.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, loud
we
and
can
clear.
Hear you loud.
Yeah,
Was it? My first question is, did you get on with the two Sulford City fans? Because once you're in a crane 50 metres in the sky, you can't really can't get out quickly, can you?
Yeah, no, we got on with the Sulford City fans. There was two of them up there, as well as there was a safety guy, Bill. He was an abseiling specialist, so if anything went wrong with the crane, basically we had a little fall arrest above where you can see our heads, and we had to basically just abseil down nothing if the crane broke down, which it didn't, which I was very thankful for.
So hang on. If the crane breaks down, I mean that. I don't know how much time you have. Did Bill tell you how much time do we have? And did you have an order for who abseils first?
So just whoever was closest, which would have been me, I believe. I was right next to Bill.
I'd have been in that.
So I'd have been the first to the drop. But thankfully the winch stayed operational, so we didn't have to do it.
I'd have liked that bit of the pre-chat of like, this is Bill. Look, easier if it won't break down. It's not gonna break down. Why are you saying it's going to break down? It's not going to break down. What was your view like?
Yeah, it was a good view. Yeah, you can see everything.
Patterns of play.
Obviously, we was allowed to have a drink up there as well.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. I mean, you could just go to the National League South. You are allowed to drink if you go to watch the National League South.
Oh, well, maybe I'll do that next time. Because the crane was a bit scary. So.
Yeah, so obviously it was a PR thing for a whiskey company. That's fine. So it's nice. I mean, actually, I find whiskey is a bit too much for me. I'd just be like going, "Oh, this is so strong. I can't concentrate on the game." But was it like watching Sensible Soccer or Kickoff 2 or you're younger than us, a computer game that you can relate to? Did it have that feel?
Yeah, it was similar to what you'd see on the TV view, really, just a bit higher. But it was Fireball whiskey that sent us up there as a sort of stunt to highlight the absurdity of the drinking bans in stadiums, which was set, I think, 40 years ago or something like that, when hooliganism was quite rife. So it was like a little stunt to say, a loophole, if you will, to say you can watch it from a crane while having a drink.
Yes.
And the view was decent.
The drinking thing is, the trouble is, the first few times you go, this is good, we can have a pint, it's great. Then you realise you're missing quite a lot of the game because you're either at the bar or going for a wee. I mean, you're a younger man, you might not need to go for as many wees as me, Tom. So it's sort of the thing of you do miss quite a lot of the actual football if you're on the pints all afternoon.
Yeah. But obviously you could get one just before the game starts to take in. Or do it that way.
Yeah, well, you could just like sip it like at the cinema. You're
Sure.
absolutely right.
Sure.
How much? You're 50 meters up, right? So there's not a big crowd. Can you hear like what's the atmosphere like when you're that far in the sky?
Yeah, we could hear it all. We could hear all the drums going and the fans singing. A few choice words for Gary Neville from the Chesterfield fans.
Good stuff.
Well, thanks so much for coming on. Thanks for talking about it. Thanks for getting in a crane, and send our best to Bill. Thanks for your time there.
Cheers, Tom.
Tom Nestor there. I mean, it is a loophole, but it's quite a tricky loophole, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like it's not really
no.
It's not like a loophole that anyone could just say, oh, I'm going.
Unless you're a crane company, where are you this week?
But also, like, quite hard to probably put it up there, isn't it? But I don't. I mean, actually, I think so. I don't really mind. I mean, I sort of understand the point because about boozing at football.
Yes,
like I don't feel when I'm there.
I'm not desperate for 8 pints during the game, if I'm honest.
No, but then we're 46 and
exactly.
Yeah. Like
49,
we're not 20.
49,
I mean, like if I was 20, then I'd be thinking, okay.
At Oxford United, they people stand on that because it's 3-sided. People stand on top of like transit vans and high top transits and watch from one end. So I don't know if they're allowed to drink or not.
You ever been up a crane, Charlie?
I've been up a crane. You got any
been up a crane?
Got any hobbies, Max?
You ever been
any
up a
funny
crane?
stories?
Should have tried that then.
Should have tried it.
Anything?
Did you collect anything? Got any funny stories? Ever been up a crane? No, I've never done it. I've never done a bungee jump or anything like that. So no, not been up a crane. You've been by yourself, Max? Ever been up a crane?
I don't think I've ever been up a crane.
All right, okay.
Here's some from the Daily Star. Gen Zers may be embracing 90s fashion trends. They are clueless about what the decade was like. I always think of this. I listen to Sounds of the 90s a lot. Fern Cotton's podcast. And obviously, like, when my parents were listening to the Sounds of the 60s, I was like, what are you doing? This is ridiculous. And that's what I'm doing.
It's what you're doing.
Now.
Exactly what you're doing.
Literally what I'm doing
exactly.
now.
Exactly.
6 in 10 Gen Zers have no idea what the yellow pages were. Like, why would they? 74% had never heard of dial-up internet. According to a poll by the yogurt makers Muller asked these questions for some reasons. Only 17% could identify teletext, and 41% recognised a Walkman. Do you want to know the top 3 things that all age groups associated the 90s with?
Yes, go on.
The Spice Girls, Take That, and Blockbuster Video.
There we are. Very nice. Very nice, isn't it? Did you ever see anyone? Ever seen anyone with their bare hands tear a yellow pages in half? Max, you ever seen that? Ever seen that happen?
Obviously, you must have done this, Charlie. Like as a Torquay fan, but as a Cambridge fan,
throw them in the air. Yeah, we'd all
rip up the yellow pages.
Absolutely,
because it's our colours, right?
Oh yeah.
You know, who's got the bag of the yellow pages? But obviously, we can't do it anymore.
Not allowed to do it. Probably run out of yellow pages. To be honest,
I don't understand.
I was driving home the other day, and a bat flew in. This is from Anonymous on the text. I was driving home the other day, and a bat flew through my window. It was the size of a field mouse. I felt something hit my leg, and there it was. It killed itself. Sad story. It was a sad story. I didn't read through to the end.
No, that's okay. Tim says I've never been up.
The final twist was like M. Night Shyamalan.
Tim says, I've never been up a crane either. We must be kindred spirits. Some breaking news. Enzo Maresca has been given a 1-match touchline ban and an £8,000 fine for misconduct during the Premier League game between Chelsea and Liverpool. It was alleged that the manager acted in an improper manner and used abusive and or insulting words and behaviour during the fixture, which led to his dismissal around the 96th minute. He's admitted the charge and accepted the standard penalty. I didn't know that was when he ran on the pitch.
I think that was his celebration. Yeah, he ran down the pitch, got in with the players, got in with the crowd. I don't know what he was shouting, but obviously...
No, but he's admitted his guilt. So send him down. Let's get Graham Courtney to give him 25 years. A 1-match ban for whoever Chelsea playing this weekend, and an £8,000 fine. Let's start a crowdfunder for Enzo Maresca with that. I mean, if he said something, fine. But if it was just for running and celebrating,
I think you should be allowed to run and celebrate, and I think you should be allowed to take your shirt off if you score a goal. I think that's a stupid rule. Why did they bring that rule in?
Maybe he'll get in a crane.
Yes, and watch it from the... Can you manage from a crane 50 feet up?
Possibly, and then do it, and then not want to tell anyone about
it. Come on now. It wasn't a boxer. Come on now.
Anyway, we'll do some Rangers in just a second. Could Kevin Muscat become their next manager? Dave Edgar from the Heart and Hand podcast will join us. We might have an in, Charlie, because Craig, the crane man, has been in touch to say me and my mate Alex, the crane man, build cranes. Craig, the crane man.
Well done, Craig.
So,
with that surname, it'd be tough to do anything else with that surname.
Rob says, haven't been up a crane. What are you even doing on Talk Cranes? Says Bobby in Bristol. Anyway, you may have seen the headlines from recent interview with Premier League referee Anthony Taylor highlighting the abuse he's suffered in the professional game. Have you experienced anything grassroots level? Tonight we're going to be exploring whether there's a crisis brewing in amateur football that could impact your league or the team that your kids play for. Hugh Woozencroft and Scott Minto are on from 7 for a deep dive into the current state of grassroots officials and refereeing on kickoff. So that is definitely worth listening to. This is Rushden Baker on talkSPORT in partnership with Toolstation. Next stop, Toolstation. So Stephen Gerrard, I think we spoke to Dave Edgar from the Heart. Edgar. That's how I speak normally.
Yes.
Dave Edgar from the Heart and Hand podcast about Stevie G coming in, and then he said he didn't want it. But now Kevin Muscat might want the job, or he's the front runner. So let's talk to Dave again. How are you, Dave?
Hello, Dave.
Yeah, I'm not too bad. I've recovered from Saturday night's disappointment of Stephen Gerrard not coming in just about, although I would feel a lot more comfortable given that we're playing on Saturday with having someone in the Ibrox. So we got an email from the club today selling tickets saying that every seat is important at Ibrox on Saturday. Well, there's one in particular, Rangers, that's rather important, and I'd quite like you to work on filling that one.
I thought you were going to say we got an email saying, "Could you do it?" Just all reply all. Could you do it?
I'm going anyway. So I'm willing. I'm not going to be able to take training on Friday because I go for lunch then. But if you just tell them 4-4-2, big man and a little guy up front.
Sounds like that would work. That sounds like it would work.
It's worth a try at this stage.
So what did you make of? I mean, because Danny Rowe was a favourite for a bit, and now it's Kevin Muscat. Now, look, I did a TV show with Kevin Muscat a few years ago, and he's a nice guy, despite perhaps the tackles that he put in back in his career. And he plays a really sort of Ange style of football. He's been really successful in Japan. There are mirrors with Ange Postecoglou's route, and I think he will be a really good top successful manager. How do you feel about him coming in?
Yeah, I agree. And here's actually an interesting point that someone put to me earlier, which was recently with Rangers, what we've been trying to do with managers is we've brought in managers from bigger leagues, but who have been looking to rebuild their career. They've been coming off a sacking. That's not the case with Kevin Muscat. He's actually coming off a period of sustained success. So straight away, there is a difference there. And then I think you add in the type of football, which honestly, we really need to see something that gets people excited and out of their seat at Ibrox, because the football has been dire for a long time, more than just Russell Martin's reign, although that's when it hit its nadir. But I like, the fact that he does have this style of play. I like the fact that he has been successful with it in multiple leagues, which shows adaptability. And also, and I think this is probably key at this point with Rangers fans, is that he'll get buy-in, not from everyone. You're never going to get a universal acclamation, but I think he would get enough buy-in from supporters that they would say, okay, I'm going to give this a bit of time to see how it works out.
I'm surprised
because he played for them.
No, not because he.
Right.
No, not because he played for the club, strangely enough. He only played something like 20-odd games, and this probably won't surprise you. He wasn't trusted to play Old Firm matches. He didn't play a single Old Firm matches because the manager at the time, Alex McLeish, thought he was too big a red card risk in those particular matches. But I think it's more just a case of there is an absolute allergy among Rangers fans at the moment for what we see as Championship, EFL Championship, or lower EPL cast-offs.
Yeah.
Now, whether that's right or wrong, I think is up for debate, but it definitely exists. And one of the things that we've found the last few years that Rangers have been trying for a number of years is The Championship is a great league. The EPL is clearly a much better league. So if we get people from that, it must work in Scotland automatically. Whereas Scotland, while nobody would argue it's the highest quality league, it's a strange little league. It's a unique set of circumstances playing for Rangers. Every match you go out in is the cup tie for the opposition. They're desperate to beat you. And a lot of guys come up from England who I think maybe deep down think this will be a bit easier. And within about a month, they're looking shell-shocked. They've got the 1,000-yard stare and they're saying, what the hell have I got myself into here? So I think among Rangers fans at the moment, there's a sense of, look, we've tried this. It hasn't worked. Can we try somewhere else?
Yeah, I might be falling into the trap of one of the teams that isn't Celtic or Rangers is doing well. So you should get their manager. But Hearts manager Derek McKinnon is doing very, very well. He's got them playing good football. They're top of the league. He's played for Rangers. Has he been linked? Are you surprised he's not higher up the list?
He's perennially linked with Rangers, going back to even before this. He's always mentioned in dispatches, but so far anyway, it doesn't appear that Rangers have made any moves towards him. And maybe he wouldn't want to come because, as you just mentioned, their Hearts are doing fantastically well. He's doing a terrific job there. He's got a great owner in Tony Bloom, who owns a significant share of Hearts. And he maybe thinks right now, do I want to leap from this into that? So I don't know if there's, but he would be a popular appointment again with a lot of the Rangers support. I think he would get that buy-in, and I think it is important that they do. Someone like Danny Roll's such a tricky one to judge at the moment because on the one hand, I think he's a very good coach, and I suspect he's going to go on and do some big things in the game. But I just wonder if he's right for us right now, because if he comes in, there will be a sizable element of support say, oh, it's another Championship guy, oh, he's 36, he's only got 2 years experience as a manager, what are we doing? This is not the type of guy that will lead this club. That's my worry. I must admit to that. And then there's another bit of my brain that thinks we're going to be playing a Danny Roll team in the Europa League in about 2 years, and they're going to be brilliant, and we're going to go, damn, we should have got him.
Are you annoyed with the board for not getting Steven Gerrard, or you think there was you were never going to get him? What's the kind of chat been about that?
I'm annoyed with the board full stop at the moment, so I'm probably not your best place to judge that neutrally. Yeah, I think the way that it played out, because they honestly couldn't have handled this more badly, because what happened is they very publicly went for him. They got the supporters' hopes up. Everyone was thinking, right, this is a done deal. What they haven't done at all well through this whole managerial thing is set the narrative. They have always been behind the narrative.
Sure.
And in this case, it looked as though Gerrard was coming. He wasn't coming. And that, of course, got everybody's hopes up and then led to more disappointment. We're now sitting 3 days before a match, and Rangers are 8th. By the way, it's not like we can just write off a match at the weekend. And we don't have a manager. They have not had a good start to life at Rangers, the new owners. The people that they've brought in, guys like Patrick Stewart, guys like Kevin Thelwell, have not had a good start to life at Rangers. And the fact that we are sitting here having this debate, the fact that I'm back on here a week later when it looked as though one manager was coming, and now I'm here and we're talking about 2 or 3, they are going to have to pull a rabbit out the hat with this appointment, and they are going to have to improve everything. Because somebody asked me the other day, can you name something that's improved since they came in? And remember, it was a low bar when they came in. And the honest answer is no, I can't. And I'm sure they would say, oh, there's other stuff that you don't see. Well, I'm a supporter. Have you made supporters' lives better? Have you made the team better? No. That's all I care about.
Yeah, well, look, we'll chat to you next week when Alan Kirbishley's the favourite. Cheers, Dave. Thanks for your time, pal.
Thank you, guys.
Cheers.
Dave Edgar there from the Heart and Hand podcast. You are listening to Max Rushden and Charlie Baker with you until 4. Paddy's Challenge in just a bit, and then we'll do a bit more England too.
Danny Murphy has been questioning what we've really learnt about Thomas Tuchel's team in qualifying, but the former England midfielder does expect more positive performances at next summer's World Cup.
I think if you're playing Spain in 30-degree heat, you can't go after them for more than 10 or 15 minutes. You've got to be cute and clever and maybe pick people who can counter really well for you, because Spain will dominate the ball. But I don't see Tuchel being too single-minded in playing one way all the time. He's not daft.
Meanwhile, Ben Foster says players don't really enjoy these international breaks. The former England keeper reckons they're just saying what's expected of them.
Recently retired pros, they'll tell you the honest truth, which is we don't want to play these games. We've got no interest in it. It's just a waste of our time. We're in a nice groove in the Premier League. Yeah, we know we've got real competition every single Saturday. Really, really good.
Elsewhere this afternoon, there are ongoing discussions about the effectiveness of taking a knee following a rise in online hate crimes. Players will make the gesture this weekend for the first time this season as part of the Premier League's No Room for Racism campaign. Chief Exec Richard Masters says more must be done to tackle racism on social media. And Spurs have confirmed Fabio Paratici's back as one of 2 sporting directors, as we reported back in August. The Italian has now served a ban for his role in a false accounting scandal at Juventus.
Challenge on talkSPORT with Hawksbee and Jacobs. What critics are calling one of the many radio quiz segments happening this week. Paddy Power. 18 plus BeGambleAware.org.
Time now for Paddy's Challenge, our quiz for charity in association with our friends and official betting partner Paddy Power. In Paddy's Challenge, we put our knowledge of the wonderful world of sport to the test with the chance of raising lots of cash for our nominated charities. I'm playing for the Sporting Memories Network, Charlie raising funds for the Rowcroft Hospice, helping to manage proceedings and ensure fair play is our guest quizmaster Ben Fletcher. Hello, Fletcher.
Hello,
Fletcher. Good afternoon to you, gents. In Paddy's Challenge, you'll each be asked 3 multiple-choice questions, usually posed by the voice of Paddy Power, Alistair McGowan, but he's on holiday this week, so I'm doing the honours. I wonder if that means I'll get his hefty voiceover fee.
Get Rory Bremner, surely?
Yeah, there must be other impressionists are available, you'd think, wouldn't you? Or talkSPORT's Ollie Klink, he does a good impression.
He does some good impressions.
True. Very much. In any case, the winner will be the player that scores the most points. In the event of a tie, you'll both win the chance to raise some cash for your charities. Charlie, you won last week and predicted there'd be 2 or more goals in England's friendly with Wales. On the night, England won 3-0 with goals from Rodgers, Watkins and Saka. Your 20 quid stake returned £60 for the Rowcroft pot.
Well done.
Well done indeed. Let's see if we can raise some more cash for your charities this week. The virtual coin toss has determined that it will be Charlie first on this occasion.
Good luck, Charlie.
Thank you, Max. I appreciate it.
It's all right, mate.
It's all too nice.
Don't like it. You want some needle, dear?
We need some competitiveness.
Oh, I'm angry.
That's what we like. Perfect.
I hope you have a terrible rest of your life, Charlie.
Wow.
That's more like it. I knew it was in you. I knew it was in you, Max. Right, if the highly paid technical department is ready with the tension bed, the guy who read this, the royalties he's getting on this, by the way. You should see the house he lives in.
Hang on a second. I'm suing for... Ian Culverhouse is suing you for intellectual property. Anyway, carry on.
Oh, really? I'll move on then. Question 1. Charlie, after much fan speculation, he was leaving the LA Lakers with his second decision. LeBron James has revealed he was actually promoting a drinks brand. The original decision in 2010 saw him depart the Cleveland Cavaliers for which NBA team? Was it A, Miami Heat, B, Orlando Magic, or C, Charlotte Hornets?
Ooh, should know this. Big NBA fan, you know me.
Yeah.
I think it was the Orlando Magic.
It was the Miami Heat. Ticket prices for the Lakers' final regular season game next April soared last Monday, with fans willing to spend big money in case James does decide this season is his last. Does that sort of thing happen at Torquay United, Charlie?
Oh, all the time, yeah. People go there to retire all the time as Torquay.
Absolutely, and nearby Brixham, of course.
Of course, and
full
Paynton,
of good fish
of course.
restaurants. Max, here comes your first question. In an exclusive interview with talkSPORT, Paul Gascoigne recently revealed he was happiest at Rangers, but he nearly turned down a transfer to the SPL side after thinking his agent meant Queen's Park Rangers. How many SPL titles did Gazza win in his time at the club? Was it A, 4, B, 3, or C, 2?
2.
I'd have gone 2.
1 point to Max.
Is the correct answer. Gazza lifted.
Did you do that? Did you do that voice, Fletch? That one just then?
No, believe it or not, pre-recorded Alison McGowan's still here, but I do one for future reference. Good one. Okay. Gazza lifted 2 Scottish Premiership titles and 1 Scottish Cup during his successful spell at the club. How they could do with him now.
Oh, yes.
So, Charlie, you're under a bit of pressure now, my old son.
Okay.
You need this, or Max really will be in the driving seat. Question 2: in which sport did Great Britain's Joe Clark recently claim a 4th consecutive world title in Australia? Was it A, kayak cross, B, BMX freestyle, or C, roller derby?
I've been to a roller derby.
Roller derby feels... I think it's a team sport, isn't it, roller derby?
Live on talkSPORT 3.
Yeah, I'm going to say the first one.
Kayak cross?
Kayak cross.
Good one.
Yes.
Absolutely
well
right.
Worked out, wasn't it?
The 32-year-old also won silver in the men's individual time trial and bronze in the team kayak at the Canoe Slalom World Championships in Sydney. Did either of you two have rollerblades or roller boots in the 90s? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Pair of bow turbos
well,
for
let's talk about Rollerberry.
Don't know, I had no
St
friends.
Edmunds. Rollerberry in Bury St Edmunds was where I learned to roller skate. That was a place. Wow.
Olympus in Newton Abbot, which then became the nightclub Rafters, which we had another name for that rhymes with rafters, but I can't say it on air.
Tell me off air. It was the Rollerdrome in Woking, for those who go back to the mid-90s, with my bow turbos, black and white hockey socks, lovely. This is getting us nowhere, is it? Max, here comes your second question. You can take a huge step towards the charity cash with this one. Question 2. England goalkeeper Jordan Pickford recently broke whose record by making his 8th consecutive clean sheet in a 3-0 win over Wales? Was it A, Ray Clements, B, Gordon Banks, or C, David Seaman?
Oh,
not as easy as I thought it was Peter Shilton.
I thought it was Peter Shilton. Hang on, so ask the question again.
England keeper Jordan Pickford recently broke whose record by making his 8th consecutive clean sheet in a 3-0 win over Wales? Ray Clements, Gordon Banks, or David Seaman?
I still think it's Peter Shilton. But for the tape, I'll say David Seaman.
Oh dear, oh dear.
I'm afraid the correct answer, according to the piece of paper, what I have here, Gordon Banks.
I just looked it up.
The Everton goalkeeper marks his 79th cap by surpassing World Cup winner Banks last Friday. Marks a year since he last conceded for England.
Amazing.
How about that? So it's one apiece, Charlie. So the
couldn't
game
be more exciting, guys.
Be more excited. And you can really feel the tension and needle in the room.
I've got Max wishing me a terrible life in my head as well, so I've got to really...
It's become a grudge match. That's what we're here for. Question 3 to you, Charlie. Former Manchester United star Memphis Depay broke the record for most assists for the Netherlands in his side's comfortable World Cup qualifying win over Finland last weekend. Whose record did he beat? Was it A, Wesley Sneijder, B, Robin van Persie, or C, Rafael van der Vaart?
I'm going to say Van Persie.
Wrong answer. It was Wesley Sneijder.
Sneijder played about 1 million games for them, and when he retired, they brought a sofa onto the pitch, and he sat on a sofa with his family, and they played highlights on a big screen.
Oh wow!
Which is kind of lovely, but also it was a bit weird for them, I think.
Bit self-indulgent, perhaps. His 35th assist and later his 54th goal for his country, stretching the national record he broke last month. So, Charlie, you finish with 1 point, which means that Max has an opportunity to take home the pot, or if he gets it wrong, it will be split. Here comes question 3 for you, Max. Which team recently won the Rugby Championship at Twickenham? Was it A, South Africa, B, New Zealand, or C, Argentina?
What is the Rugby Championship?
It's a tri-nation tournament between Argentina and the other two that were mentioned. What were the choices again?
South Africa, New Zealand, or Argentina?
Argentina.
Oh dear, oh dear.
It was South Africa, yeah. The world champions overpowered Argentina at the Allianz Stadium to win back-to-back rugby championships for the first time.
Yes.
So it finishes
well done to them.
1 apiece. So everyone's a winner. And I just need to get through to the final page of this drawn-out feature. Here it comes. It is a draw. So Paddy's giving both of you a £10 free bet. It just remains for me to ask Max, first of all, across the miles, what are you going to go for?
Is it a bet for to have to happen today?
I think before next week, ideally. If it happens to be a live talkSPORT game, even better.
Cambridge to beat Bromley on Saturday.
Wow.
Live on talkSPORT 4. Charlie, what are you going to go for?
I'm going to say Arsenal to beat Fulham on Saturday.
Well, there we go. We'll see how you get on and reveal the winnings next week.
Lovely. I thought it was great, Fletch. Really
One
enjoyed
does
it.
one's best.
No, thank you very much, Fletch. I had a good time. That was... it sounded sarcastic.
Nothing
it didn't mean to be that way.
Sounded
it did sound... No, I really liked it. I quite like it. It's a gentle quiz. It toddles
we should
along.
Just draw it every week, though, because then we both get £10 rather than only one of us.
Ah, I see.
It'd be good. If we can set it up that we draw it every week, that'd be great.
I've got it. Okay.
Complaints at Ofcom.com.
That's this week's. If somebody complains to Ofcom because me and Charlie are trying to split £10 between sporting memories and a hospice, I mean, there will be one. There's a couple of listeners. There's a couple of people on the text board who do anything to get us done.
Furious.
Anyway, that's this week's challenge in the book. Thanks to our friends at Paddy Power. Thanks to Fletch, mighty work. 18+. BeGambleAware.org.
Paddy's Challenge on talkSPORT with Paddy Power. 18+. BeGambleAware.org.
Turning it onto his left foot. Oh, it's a beautiful goal.
I love English football and I love English football fans and the support they give. But I think today the atmosphere did not match the performance on the field.
But he wants it to feel like a Premier League atmosphere.
Not the same.
And it isn't the same. And he's slowly, I think, understanding that, but he's doing his best.
England fans in fine voice and good spirit away to our right-hand side. Are we loud enough for you?
There's a comedy theme to their singing, and credit to them for it. They're very vocal tonight, the England fans.
Is that 1-0 to the library that England fans are now singing?
We had fun from the fans, bantering with Thomas Tuchel as well. He played his part in that, and that relationship now looks very healthy indeed.
That will definitely be acknowledged by Thomas Tuchel, who will say, well, I've got the response I wanted.
I had a reason today from my last comments, and like I said, it's fair enough. I got a bit of stick, and I found it quite creative. And it made me smile, and this is how it has to be. It's a British humour, and I surely can take it.
Yeah, I love how he diffused all of that, Thomas Tuchel.
1-0 to the library is a good one. That's really good. Really good.
Anyway. But, you know, the travelling fans make noise.
Yeah.
Wembley doesn't. They're both true. Let's talk to Andy Milne. You will definitely know his face. The England superfan. He hasn't missed a game, I think, since 82.
Brilliant.
That photos of him holding the World Cup. He's got a book out. He was there last night. We can talk about all of that. Andy, how are you? Thanks for coming on.
Hi, Charlie. Hi, Max. Thanks for having me on. I've just arrived back. I've been walked through the door about 45 minutes ago, back from Riga.
And were you giving Thomas Tuchel stick?
Yeah, but it was very light-hearted. I think everybody, I thoroughly enjoyed that match. Actually, the banter was good. The singing, they did get behind. You could tell the players were impressed afterwards. They came down and. We just qualified for another World Cup, which is great.
Yeah, I mean, it was good. Have you seen? You've been at every game, I'm assuming, and have you seen?
I've been at lots.
Yeah. But you've seen you'll have seen more live than lots of people. Have you seen a development in the squad and the style of play and the team to a positive effect since Tuchel's taken over?
Yeah, but he's done really well, hasn't he? He's certainly had a slow start. And you're playing against Andorra a couple of matches. They weren't great, and the friendly matches weren't good either. But at the moment now we're firing, and the squad, it looks ridiculous. There are going to be some very, very good players who don't even get in that squad to go where we're going now, off to America.
Yeah. But you must have gone to so many tournaments with the kind of hope that these last 2 international breaks have given us, right? And we know what happens, Annie, when we go with hope.
Yeah. We're in with a chance. There's a lot of good teams in the world. I think there's probably 6 standout teams at the moment, and we're one of those. And it's probably going to go to one of those teams. So we stand a very, very good chance. I thought we were incredibly unlucky in Qatar. I thought we had a great team there, and we played very, very well. And we played well against France. It was their day. It wasn't our day. We were very unlucky. We could easily have been finalists then. So, I'll be going and keeping my fingers crossed as always.
Tell us about the book that you've written, Andy. Where's this?
Yeah, it's been a long journey. So I've had a lot of people have been, approach me and asked me to write things, and people have put montages together of me at different World Cups, and people start sort of searching online and digging out little clips. So I thought maybe it's time I wrote my own story. So I went to my first World Cup in 1982. The book is called That World Cup Guy, and it's basically sort of a travelogue football memoir of all the World Cups that I've been to, and the various people I've met, the escapades, those sort of wild adventures that you never see coming that arrive, how I got into the stadia, all those sort of different World Cup stories.
Pre-internet sort of stuff as well. I mean, you going viral is sort of, I'm assuming, it's changed your life slightly. People sort of must recognise you now here and there.
Yeah,
do you miss those old sort of more analog sort of days of travel at all?
I think one thing that you'll get through the book is it's 44 years ago when I did my first one, that the world is a very, very different place, and football is a very, very different place. So when I went, it was a spur of the moment thing when I went to Spain in '82. I was a 19-year-old lad. I'd never been abroad. I decided to pack a rucksack and just go.
The dream.
And I had that stolen on my first day. So all I had was a T-shirt, a pair of shorts, and Doc Martin boots, and the money belt, and that was it for a month. But in those days, you could go and queue for World Cup tickets outside the stadiums. So all of my matches of that, my World Cup final ticket cost £4.15. So,
that's amazing, isn't it?
And it was a 3 days queuing,
Were you
3
there in
days
86?
queuing outside the Bernabeu Stadium.
Yeah, amazing.
That's brilliant. And were you there in '86 for the Hand of God?
I wasn't there. No, I wasn't there for that one. So I missed a couple of those earlier ones because it was so far away and I had no money. And those ones there, but I've been to 9. I've been to the Women's World Cup in Australia. Tourism Australia flew me out there, and I promoted it for them. So that was great. And I've been to 8 World Cup finals, the actual finals themselves. So I always stay on, and I always, I want to do the competition, want to see it through to the end, and I've managed to get in a variety of different ways to those finals.
And of all those finals, what's the one that you would pick out as the best you've seen?
The actual final itself would be the last one, Qatar, I think.
Yeah, that was incredible.
Messi and Mbappe, what an incredible match that was. Yeah, for all sorts of different reasons, wasn't it? But yeah, so I really enjoyed that.
Do you have a club side, Andy?
I'm Manchester United.
Oh, right. So you go and see England, go and see England for a bit of joy.
Yeah, that's right. It's not been great at the moment, has it? I'd love to see Kobbie Mainoo get back into the England setup. I think and United. He's a fantastic player, just being underused at the moment.
Lovely, he is a lovely player. I just want to take you back to '82. That is so interesting, isn't it? That you could queue for 3 days. You queued for 3 days at the Bernabeu.
Yeah, so it's not as bad as it sounds. So you're there, and everybody else is like-minded. So people will look after your bag, or your possessions, whatever. I had a carrier bag. There's a picture of me with it, actually.
Oh, wow.
In the book. So a plastic carrier bag of what I picked up. And this German fan called Robert, who we got to know, he left and went home mid-tournament, and he gave me his sleeping bag. Oh. That transformed it. It was so much, more comfier being able to sleep out, and then you had a sleeping bag. But we would. So we were outside, and there would be people go off and get kebabs and bring them back, and be beers, and then we play football or play frisbee outside, and you just got to know people, and it was quite a nice way to spend time.
I mean, at 19, you're there. You've gone on a whim. You've got a few quid in your money belt. You've got cheap beers. You're queuing up to see the World Cup. It's 1982. The world ahead of you.
The thing that killed me over there was the wine. Wine wasn't a thing in the UK really at the time. It was something that posh people drank. And, over there, it was destructively cheap. I just couldn't believe it. We were ordering it by the carafe and absolutely wasted.
That's so brilliant, isn't it? It's so funny what a different time it was, and you're so right. And actually, because there'll be younger listeners going, "This is mad! How you buy a ticket by just all politely being in the queue like it's the first day of Wimbledon, and then you get to see Paolo Rossi, right? Then you get to see Italy win that
Tardelli celebration when he scored that goal. That was amazing.
Amazing,
fantastic. But they're all good. I love people often ask me what's my favourite World Cup, but I think it's just the one that you're at. They're all great. I love the fact that the nation that puts it on are always so incredibly proud of their of their World Cup, and they think it's the best, and it is the best when you're there. It's great, and again, so there is quite a World Cup community. You bump into people from other nations every 4 years. It's strange. It's
obviously you've seen like England get knocked out of a lot of tournaments, and I don't know. I felt this a bit, with the last two Euros finals. Of that, obviously, I want us to win, but at the same time, I don't. It's part us not winning. It just makes the story and the journey even longer, right? I quite enjoy that, and because I've deified the boys of '66, who I never saw play, so they've never had a bad game. Like they've never ever had a bad game in their lives.
Never been boring.
And so I almost at the final.
I know exactly what you're saying.
Do you know what I mean? I'm sort of like, I don't know if I want this to happen, but I do.
Yeah, I think there's the next England song in there, isn't there, somewhere? But I want it to happen, but not quite yet.
Yeah, I think that's it.
I'd
we
like
should
it to
write
happen,
it,
and then we can all just.
I saw
be quiet about it.
I saw the 1966 team actually in Bilbao. They played a match against Bilbao University, and all 11 players from the World Cup winning team were there. They were, a little bit older then, but they breezed it. They won 4-1. Charlton scored 3, I think.
Oh, what a joy!
I've got to hope they can beat Bilbao Uni, haven't you? Otherwise, that's a problem.
But I thought they were really old.
Andy, look, great stories.
The book sounds fantastic.
We'll get you back on when it's coming out. But thanks for your time, Andy. Appreciate it.
Yeah, there's an offer out on it at Waterstones at the moment.
Great stuff.
Okay.
Good stuff. We'll find that.
Everyone go down and Google Andy Milne and go and get the book from Waterstones. Thanks, Andy.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Andy.
your time.
Great stuff.
Bye.
Andy Milne there.
To be 19, Max.
To be 19. Over it to be 1982.
and then you're
why does time have to pass?
A shorts
God
and T-shirt and your bag's been stolen and you're drunk on Spanish wine. Doesn't get better than that.
It doesn't. It does. It's Andy Golson and Darren Bentwith Drive.